Say it again.
If you're wondering, that song is called "Human Dumpster."
Is that an autobiography as well?
It is. I wrote that song during the pandemic and released it on Spotify, and we paid someone who shall not be named to promote it, and they didn't promote it correctly, and now some DJ in the Netherlands owns that song.
Owns the music that you created.
And I had to write a letter to let me to use my own songs. So anyway, it's a Tuesday in Delaware County, and it must be Delco Live. We got plenty of sponsors that we'll get to in a second. Tonight's a special episode where we've got a guest who knows more about Delaware County than all of us. He's lived through everything, has talked to people from every county, has talked about every subject you can imagine. She writes for the local newspaper. She started when print media was great. She's carried it on into the digital age, and she's adapted great. And she's one of the first people to give us a chance way back in the day, even before Delco Live, when no one else would touch us with a 10-foot pole, and now she regrets that decision. But
like many women in our lives,
we're going to pick her brain from 3 decades plus of covering the great people of this land for all the better and all the worst. But let's tell them about our sponsors real quick. Alan.
Oh, Alan, I must be in trouble. But this is brought to you by Fat Cal Jerky, utterly perfect jerky. All these great flavors, as you can see on the screen: jalapeno, garlic, honey bourbon, honey habanero. The new spicy original is one of our favorites as well. My favorite, of course, is the maple breakfast, but you can get all these, plus the new doggy treats here at Fat Cal Jerky. They got people treats and dog treats. That's right. FatCalJerky.com, Facebook, and Instagram. Check them out and tell them Delco Live sent you. Don't forget.
That cow has horns. You shouldn't milk it.
Okay. We're not milking it. We're eating it. We're eating it. And if you Delco scumbags, you get yourself in trouble or get hurt at work, get hurt in a car accident with this amazing traffic we get there around the holidays.
Well, you can't get in a bad accident. You can't go more than 2 miles an hour.
Still happens. Fender benders get injured all the time. CherryInjuryLaw.com. David R. Cherry is your man. 610-565-0300. The Cherry Firm. Tell Dave that Delco Live sent you as well. And Dolan's.
Have yourself a David R. Cherry Christmas.
There you go. There you go.
Every episode, I try to think of a pun with his name, and I'm out of them except for that.
Wow.
Don't forget Dolan's December to remember. They already had some great live acts over the last weekend, but don't forget the annual Christmas Tabernacle. That's right, Tabernacle Choir with Jay Whaley. 30 Christmas carols from December 16th.
Yearly tradition they have.
It's one of the best. You got to witness it. We can tell you all about it, but you got to witness it.
This is one of the reasons why they're the most Delco bar every year and all that. Is because they do things like this. This is one of the most Delco traditions I've ever seen in my entire life.
So I worked it a few times. It's absolute blast. You'll have grandparents in there with their grandkids. The grandkids are 21 or older, obviously.
Yeah, all the 12-year-olds here at Dolan's.
No, legitimately, this Tabernacle Choir, you have 3 generations. You'll have the grandparents, father and mother. It's a great time.
And I believe that you're not sitting there singing like Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer, like Silver Bells.
It's dirty. It's dirty Christmas carols.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's actually a really cool thing. You have to witness it. And, Dolan's, they do it right. And don't forget, you can check every great Eagles game. That's right. Your 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Best way to celebrate the Eagles is with an $8 cheesesteak or a wing cheesesteak right there at Dolan's. And also a memorabilia giveaway. Huh?
What's a wing cheese?
Pretty much a buffalo
chicken cheesesteak.
Wing meat.
Wing meat.
In 2022, going into 2023, an $8 cheesesteak anywhere is amazing.
Anywhere. And don't forget, Delco Day 8's coming up in about 6 months. The Yoke Show.
If you're wondering, we are only 179 more days to lock in.
Save the dates are going out this week.
It's going to be on 6/10 if you were wondering. We finally get a Saturday again.
Well, the first one was the last time we did that, right? So it took 8 years?
2 was on the 10th.
No, was it?
2 was on the 10th.
And went into because the first was on
2 was solely on 10.
Let's
3
check
was
Peg's articles.
Going into the 10.
Got to check Peg's
articles.
articles.
That's how we actually start talking to Peg was Delco Day.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. Go ahead, Holbrook.
Was it?
I think that's yeah, because
It might have.
it might have been because she actually came. She was one of the few people who came into my house.
Yeah, I
when the
guess.
studio
I
was
She's
in
now
my
been-
basement.
she's
She
been in
walked
all
over
three of
my
our studios.
I
she
remember.
she could she's been in all 3 studios. She walked over all the kids' toys on the floor.
Yeah.
Dealt with the craziness. Walked into this dark basement with a bunch of
You all made me feel very welcome.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
there'll be times people walk down those steps and go, "What the hell did I just walk into?"
Yeah.
Peg
Hi.
didn't blink an eye. I gotta love Peg for that.
Oh yeah.
Because she's a professional.
Yeah.
And she's been a professional for 30 years. How many years exactly?
Oh, geez. Well, my whole adult life,
Your
But-
whole adult life.
I've been in the newspaper business.
And then it's
I started writing for the
we'll
Delco
get to that.
papers probably 30-something,
30, like more than 30.
more than 30.
And that's okay. So we're talking, we talking like in the 80s? Like,
Yeah, in the 80s, since the 80s.
I was just not even a mistake yet. Well, I was definitely a mistake.
Your
but
mistake. I mean,
I wasn't just a
I'm gonna be 40 next month, so I mean, I was an '83 baby, so you were definitely in the '80s.
Wow.
So
Wow. Okay. I don't know if I could deal with this county for 30 full years. I can barely do it now. But you okay.
it's the other way around
So,
sometimes, bro.
Yeah, that's true. So you officially write for the Delco Times.
I write for Town Talk.
Oh,
I'm actually the editor of Town Talk.
you're the editor. Okay.
And the News and Press of Delaware County. Did you ever hear of that?
Yep.
It's like the
No.
combination of Springfield Press, Garnet Valley Press,
Yes.
as we
Oh,
consolidate.
fancy folks.
The reason I'll be honest with you that I heard of it,
Mhm.
if you remember years ago, we hosted a wing contest. They were the ones who pointed out to the guy that I said, "Don't use the word Super Bowl in your ad because you
Right.
can't use the word Super Bowl in any
Yeah,
advertisement."
yeah.
And he did it, and then they said, "Listen, we got to take your ad out," because he kept insisting, and that was the press that told him,
Oh, the
stop
press.
doing
Was
it.
this the one in
We can't
Generations?
print it. Yes.
Oh, no wonder I went out of business. No
Yeah.
offense.
The guy
Why?
was a little pushy on this situation. I said, "You can't say Super. You have to say
Oh,
big
yeah.
game."
You ever go to
Yeah.
Generations?
No, I never
Yeah,
did.
no one did. That's
No.
why I went out of business.
Jesus.
We had a nice string of, if you worked with us, you were going to be out of work soon.
So remember, if you want to advertise with us,
Yeah.
call me at.
we fixed that problem, but boy,
Yeah, we start picking the good
God,
people.
every politician that touched us out of office, every venue that touched us. Oh boy,
Peg's the greatest. Love
She's
her.
the
Who
best.
doesn't love Peg?
that is so many consonants in the name.
Amalfitano.
Amalfitano.
Malfitano.
Uh,
Go on, Irish. Say it right.
Okay, so is this all related to Delco Times, or you just hold 3 jobs
So-
all at once?
No, we are all owned by the same company.
What's the name of it?
Digital First Media.
Okay,
They're out in Colorado, believe it or not.
they don't know us.
So
what
they own
serial we
all the
like.
papers in this area. So if I write an
So the
article,
Rupert Murdoch of Delaware County.
they own everything, but not Inquirer, Daily News, and not Chester Spirit. None of those.
Chester
otherwise-
Spear?
Spirit. There's a
Oh,
couple-
Chester
Mhm.
Township, like the
Chester Spirit, but now they
Okay.
dropped the Chester. Now they're the Spirit.
yeah, just Spirit.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Where are they based out of? They're
Right there, Clifton
in
Avenue.
Collingdale.
Yeah.
They're the one on the
Right
corner
there,
that says the
McDade and Clifton.
nothing says Spirit like your Spirit in Chester, like having your headquarters in.
Collingdale
Collingdale.
in Derby.
Well,
Derby,
they changed, that's why probably they dropped the
Gotcha.
Chester.
It's like
But-
Springfield Optical in Holmes.
So they start covering all down this area anyway. So we don't own them, and we don't
Yeah.
own the city papers, but we own pretty much everything else,
Not
like the
yet.
Westchester.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not-
Excellent.
the Westchester Daily Local. Same.
Never heard of
And
this
so when
Westchester.
you write something, like people in Trenton could write you back that your article was over in Trenton. I'm like, so Delco trickles out,
Oh, it does.
depending on what the story is.
When my car got stolen, Al made a post and it made it to Princeton.
Where his car
And when,
was.
and when my car got found, I called and they said, "Oh wait, you're Hollywood."
It's fun though because
Yeah.
it ripples out, and we get letters on articles from sometimes like South Africa or Australia.
Really?
So we say, "I found your article," and da-da-da.
Is it from
And-
people that Dolan's paid to vote for them in a bar bracket?
I was glad what region.
Yeah. Does Tanzania hit you up an awful lot?
So, so it's kind of fun because you see that you get with the internet, people
Yeah,
reach
yeah,
you
yeah.
everywhere.
Is it from like expatriates from Delco, or just like someone was looking up an article?
We
And
we do get a lot of former residents that look us up. But I don't know why people they find the article. Maybe they Google something else and
Yeah.
come across the article.
So Delco's like the epicenter of news.
Oh, I thought you were going
It
to say of
is.
most
You're never
outbreaks, yeah.
out of news in Delco.
Yeah.
Never.
Awesome. So that's crazy that like, someone from Trenton or South Africa or Antarctica would would keep clicking on articles there because you only get 3 a month if you don't pay the $1.99.
But you can find old articles out.
Wait, is that a thing?
Clear. Yeah, like ones that are hanging
Also,
around.
the news break app and stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
There's different apps that I
There's
can
only
get. Yeah,
certain stories they block.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Like
could
if
also
you look, it has above it. that's
anything with
blocked.
our name in it, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
yeah.
get that
You
one.
can also pull out your cushions and probably find $1.99 to actually pay.
Holbrook's sun-stained T-shirt says otherwise.
Guy throws nickels around like manhole covers.
I think it looks better with the sun cancer. I think it looks better. It should have been tie-dye the whole time. It's festive.
It's festive.
It's for a great cause.
I get it.
Duh. You guys are jerks.
We're
Yes, I bought the shirt. And if anyone doesn't know, I shoved it in the back window of my car for an entire pandemic, and only recently realized it was there. And it has you might say this is bleach, but no, it is the sun.
That's exactly. I'm like, would you bleach your clothes?
I can't help thinking of like people in like South Africa or a far country like reading a story about Delco and be like, man, these people are really screwed up.
You know how like we look at Florida? I think everybody else looks at Delco like that.
Like apartheid was messed up, but boy, oh boy, do you hear what they're doing to the Sellers Ave Bridge?
Yeah. Forget the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of people in Florida don't want to still see what goes on in Delco.
Well,
They
because
were out
they're
there
in
to
rehab
friend
and they
them.
want to
Yeah.
come back.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
The only reason you go to Florida in this area is for rehab or Disney World. And if it sounds like I'm going to Florida and I don't see Mickey Mouse ears on them, I'm like, dude, you got it.
No, well, every time like I posted that Scrapple thing and people go, "Oh man, I'm in Florida or I'm in wherever," and I miss
make
that
them
so
home.
much.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, you come at me." Like I'll go. You guys should come up and get it. And they're like, "I'm never coming back to that place." Like they like sit there and miss it, but from a distance. From a distance. Yeah.
I do love explaining with I remember I was at an Atlantic City buffet, years ago, and so happy to get scrapped. We were all
I know,
so
guys, shocked. Holbrook buffet.
I know.
Breaking
So
news.
happy.
You better write this down, Peg.
And
You
there was
got a great news article coming at you.
There's a group from I don't know, somewhere in Europe. And they were like, "What is this scrapple?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's this." And I literally explain exactly what it is. And they're like, "You eat just leftover parts of animals that were just discarded?" I'm like, "Yeah, and you put them together and you fry them." They're like, "Oh." And in hindsight, I realized how ridiculous it is to hear for the first time if you've never had it.
Well, it's
But if they were from Scotland, I'd be like, "You know what
but no
haggis
weight,
is, right?"
yeah. right,
If you explain what a hot dog is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No
like,
waste.
It's a pork cylinder.
yeah, exactly.
Me too.
Me too. That's the new YouTube coming out soon. Me too.
Oh, dude, I was on the L a couple years ago, and literally this one person from Boston, they had a really strong New England Boston accent, and she's sitting there on the phone going like, "Oh yeah, it's a great day. We went out, we saw the Liberty Bell, we went down to the corner, we did this, and they bought me, we had a cheesesteak, this other thing they got. She's holding up a ham hoagie. She goes, or she's holding up an Italian hoagie. She goes, I think it's like a ham torpedo. They bought me this ham torpedo.
I hear the word sub, I want to throw up.
Yeah. So you write for all these things. What's your official title at the Delco?
I
Awesome.
guess reporter.
Straight up reporter.
Straight out reporter, writer.
So you're currently a reporter. Is that what position did you start as?
At the Delco Times?
Yeah.
I only morphed over to the Delco Times about 6 or 7 years ago. From being
Wait, really?
Yeah, because I was at Town Talk and the president. And then as the papers started tightening up, that's when I morphed over.
Did they tighten up because print media was kind of taking a hit with the internet and all that?
Yeah, we went to a lot of digital training and all. Early on, they realized that print was, taking a backseat
Needs a new
to
platform. Yeah.
digital, and they sent us to a zillion trainings. And
Well, thank God, because I have to admit, the original Delco Times website was difficult.
this one, I feel like
This one's a lot better. Yes, I'm going to give them a lot more credit on it. The original website, I looked at, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
No offense to our friends, but is it worse than the mails?
No,
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 it's
and they
not.
purposely
No.
do that. Like
That was like a
it-
1999.
Yeah,
And
like,
like
you guys
DOS
remember like the
backslash.
original websites when they were like all black background with colorful like lettering and then hyperlinks. That's it. Maybe had a picture.
Yeah, like a lime
They
green.
Yeah, they're still around.
They
Some of them.
still have
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
site like that. You look at it as, and me and Spaz as tech guys who do websites and stuff all day, we just want to vomit when we see like, oh god, this is
I
terrible.
can't believe Google even serves that up.
I'm telling you, I just came across somebody that had that. this week.
Angelfire.com
Oh, yeah.
/themail.zangablog.
Oh yeah, they're out there. There's
Yeah,
a
they're
lot
still
out
out
How
there.
to use my Netscape to go find it.
My internet started collecting when the AOL dial-up noise at one point. Okay, so where are you originally from?
Alden.
Born and raised in Alden?
Whoop, whoop.
One
No,
nine one oh eight.
I was born in Norwood.
Okay.
Moved to Alden when I was 5.
Hey, you grew up
And-
or Alden then, yeah.
Yeah, and then I lived there till I got married.
Okay.
Then I lived in Briarcliff, and now I live in Ridley.
Alden to Briarcliff, what a lateral move.
It wasn't lateral.
It's like just the same town but different.
It was walking distance. to my
different school
parents' house.
district about as far as it goes, right?
Yeah, it's all different.
So if you were Alden at that age, did you go to Alden Penwood? Penwood?
No, I went to Prendy. I went to St. Joe's and I went to Prendy.
Good for
There you
you.
go.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Where-
Most
where-
people in Alden send their kids to
My
public
parents.
private school anyway. You don't go to Alden for the school.
Well, I went
District.
to kindergarten at Alden School.
Yeah, well, that's a different story. Yeah.
I normally wear a Penny shirt. The Pandas. Good for you.
Woohoo.
And then did you do any college?
I did.
Which one?
I went to Newman. I'm afraid to say it.
And you went to Newman too? There's someone off
Yeah.
camera, by the way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can, you
we're
can
gonna-
introduce yourself.
I'm Marguerite. I'm Peg's daughter. I'm here for moral support.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Holbrook, slide over a little bit. There you
you
go.
go.
And bring the mic with you, pal.
Peg, did you know this was what you wanted to do when you were going to school?
I did.
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to do it.
Who was your idol growing
And
up?
I
Was it like Walter
started-
Cronkite or anything like that?
No, I love not action news growing up.
Oh, Jim Carter
Even you
and them?
want to hear something really?
Yes,
Really
we want to
weird.
hear everything.
I sent away for the action news record when I was in grade school.
Come closer
How
to the
geeky is
world,
that?
my
Yes.
friend.
Dun, dun,
For the
dun.
45 they sent me.
Who
I
wrote it?
always,
Who wrote it? Do we know the name?
who sent it to me?
No, like who wrote the song?
Oh, I don't know.
I was at a party at Temple, 2007. I was in a kitchen at a kegger, and a chick goes, "My dad wrote the Action News theme song," and I said, "That's such a ridiculous statement
Make out with me.
that I don't know. Even if you're lying, I'm proud of it."
It's probably, I was going to say, it's probably the truth, because who would even
Yeah.
I
say
said,
Exactly.
hold on. Twice in my
Right.
life, I made a bold-faced lie that caught out with me. One was I invented the sport. I did that one time to somebody when I was going down the shore,
that would
and,
be a random
and I
thing,
said,
yeah.
they said, we stayed at this really nice house. It was my father's boss. Somebody had a lot of money that we knew, and we were staying there. We're coming out like, oh, like who are you guys? I'm like, oh, we invented the sport. So like that, like that just like came out of my mouth. Like I didn't even try.
It
Like
just
it
rolled off the
It's so
tongue.
my
odd.
dad looked at me. He's like, "You're such a moron. Why would you say that?"
You even lie like a moron.
He's like, "You make me sad. Like, stop talking." And I think it was high school. I went to O'Hara, and the first day of freshman year, they would go around and say like, "What was your big thing that you did over the summer?" And I said I was an underwear model. I did that over the summer. I wasn't as fat then. I was just fat-ish. I guess it was semi-believable. And I didn't even think twice about
But you
it.
knew they wouldn't ask you any questions.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I didn't think anything about it. Senior year,
Did you
my
say
year.
that you had a very specific line.
Yeah, I was here for the Portleys brand. Yeah,
What did they write that in your yearbook?
that's what I'm saying. Senior year, we're looking at
Or
the
get
yearbook.
really weird and be like,
Remember
I
when
was-
Al had the school convinced that he was an underwear model?
Nowadays, you should have just made it really weird. Like, I was an underwear model for the priests.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make it less. That
Sorry,
makes it terrible.
sorry, I'm kidding.
That makes it terrible.
I forgot the contract we had. No, I'm kidding.
So Peg, you knew when you were younger that this is what you're going to get into. So did you have like Hollywood was asking, you looked up to the people at Action News, like that was your role
I did.
models for that?
I did. And when I
Okay.
was in high school, I was editor of Prendy's paper.
Okay.
Like I just always went
What was
that
the name
route.
of the printing paper?
The Miter?
The
I was going to say
Miter.
the Panda Press seems like an easy
The
way
Panda
out.
Press seems so much. The Miter?
The Miter.
They must
Yeah.
have not do the Prendy-
What is a
Panda Press.
miter?
Bonner's is called the Bon Air.
Wait, the Bon Air?
Do that? That's a good. Do they still do? School
They
newspapers?
do.
They do?
They do. They
Okay.
cut them down some. I think like where they used to be monthly, now it's like quarterly.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I
Most
tried out
schools,
for
like, they cut
Channel
them down.
1. Remember that? Remember that
I
old
do remember
the
Channel 1.
TV? Like they have the TV
Yeah, I
and like
remember.
it's the school news.
Yeah.
The guy.
And what, you didn't make it? Because I was the meteorologist.
The-
on it.
my homeroom teacher was the teacher in charge of that. She goes, no, there's no dump button. No. Get it out. She looked at me. She told me,
This
"Get out."
explains now why.
Yes,
you're all
explains
this.
everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna mute me.
Yeah.
I was the weather. I was the meteorologist, the weather person.
You
For
should
that
just scream
at
real
Bonner.
loud. It's gonna rain.
Do you know why I ended up doing that? It was punishment because I was late every day, and they're like, if we make him the meteorologist, he's gonna have to show up by 7:50 and to be on the air, and if he's not there, he's gonna feel guilty, and people are gonna be like, oh, Holbrook's late again.
I feel like they just panned over to the map and there was nobody there. Hey, we're here with Chris Holbrook for the weather. And we're back.
I wouldn't know what they did when I wasn't there, but I mean, dude, there was days I took it so seriously that I would sometimes just go like, and I would just look out the window and be like, it is kind of cloudy.
Well, that's
Did they
funny
have it
'cause-
on TV there?
Yeah, we would show up.
I
We would
know
show
they
up.
That's
did
what
it at
Channel
O'Hara.
1 was.
I know
yeah.
O'Hara. I didn't realize.
We would
Bonnie-
show up before the actual Channel 1, which was Anderson Cooper when I was there, and the Asian chick that wasn't Connie Chung. What was her name? What was her name?
Lucy
Lindsay.
Liu?
Lindsay. No, the other one. Lindsay.
Oh, she wasn't Liu.
She ended up becoming the host of Big Brother.
Oh, I've never watched
Oh,
that
yeah,
show.
yeah. I know.
I already thought
She
about
it.
married the guy
Chung.
who owned CBS. I
Yes,
think.
yes.
Yeah.
She went a long way from
So she slept with her
Channel 1.
boss?
Julie. We have Peg here, and we don't have her all the time. So let's.
Okay, my apologies. Yeah, you're right. We did get completely off.
Yeah.
All right, so
We tend to do that. Just slap him when he
so
gets
you've been
track.
covering
Okay.
you've been covering stories in this area for 30 years, right?
Mhm.
So one very long tenured story that's been going on in this area, nationwide news, the boy in the box.
Oh no, that's not. That was a Philly school.
Right, but it has now become a
I know.
Delco story.
I know.
Have you been following with that little teaser that the police gave where they said it's a prominent
Yes.
Delco? Do you know who it is?
No, I don't.
What Delco family do you think it is?
I'm not going to say, but I do have internal guess. But
Oh, all right, fine. Just tell us if
Probably everybody has internal.
tell us
thinking
if
of different-
one of us says the
I don't
name.
know who it is.
Okay.
They didn't.
She
release
has
it
her
yet.
idea.
Al, I'll lead off with it. We did have a group chat earlier. I say it's the Drexels.
Does it rhyme with Schmexel?
Yeah.
Al, who was yours?
I don't know.
Carrie, who was yours?
I said the sellers because yeah,
The Drexels or
Drexels were
the
taken and Prof had
Does it rhyme with
a good idea,
Schmooshmont?
too.
Prof had a good one. I can't remember who the other one
Prof had
was.
a good idea, and since that
Do you-
was better than
Can I
mine.
ask you a question? Like, and what makes this weird to me, the whole thing, like we're all sitting here guessing. Like, I've never seen them just not. This is who keep people in suspense about who this is. Like, is there a reason? Like, is it the investigation or
There's
something?
an investigation. You have to notify the family, and then you got to actually, let's say this was murder. They got to go trace back, addresses and all that stuff from back in the day.
But I've never seen like, oh, it's a prominent fact. Like, did something
Yeah,
leak
release
out? Like,
that
I've never
little-
seen a
Yeah.
tease like
Somebody
this
paid.
before.
Yeah, the tease was weird. I did go and reread the entire story, and it made sense from the beginning because the kid was found in a stroller box purchased at
J.C. Penney's.
It was like J.C. Penney's on
Strawbridge.
69th Street.
Profits of the DuPonts.
The DuPont.
I said Schmooshmonts. I said, does it rhyme with
Yeah,
Schmooshmonts?
that was profits of the DuPonts.
So
But that's not Delco, though. That's why I
Sellers,
didn't think that.
DuPonts. I mean, the
That's him.
Satanville.
Is that but I thought DuPonts were Delaware.
They are now, but Satanville's
Uh,
Delaware-ish county.
I'll have Steve Carell. See what he says.
Yeah, that's the other thing is the Foxcatcher Farms on
How many
Delco.
famous families have there been to Delco?
Enough.
Probably a lot.
Is there?
Really?
Like, I'm not being
Like the
I don't-
Anistons.
They're not from Delco.
Especially back in the day.
Yeah.
There was more prominent families back in the day.
Yeah.
Half that area right outside the Upper Darby, like the Upper Darby suburbs inward, including Alden. A lot of those houses were built as resort homes for CEOs from Center City.
Yeah.
Just like the horse and buggy days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did we say one of the names that piqued your interest in it so far?
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. I'd be guessing the same names as
The
you guys.
Drexels, the Sellers, the Sedaris.
You're thinking of all Upper Darby big
Yeah.
names because of being on 69th Street. But
Yeah.
back in the day, everybody shopped at 69th.
That's right.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, my
That's true.
wife's old, and she told me the same thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're done.
What? I told her she's
Not
on all
getting
the
in the
time.
house tonight, brother.
Yeah, my work's all
Oh,
over.
don't.
she's
Oh,
listening.
wait. Hold on. So you're telling me I can't go to my house with 3 kids, my wife, and 3 cats? Oh no! I guess I'll just have to get a hotel and spend the night with myself.
So,
Why?
as your role as a reporter at Delco Times and the other entities, especially let's just say within the confines of Delco Times specifically, are there roles or anything like that where it's a local correspondent assigned to a specific area?
Not anymore,
Okay,
because we're such a small staff
yeah,
that I just pick my own stories and go wherever I want. I
okay.
don't really have any assignments.
I can see that you're
So you're like
obviously all over the
a
place.
renegade? Is that what you're
I'm
trying to
just a
tell me?
renegade.
I love that. It's
Peg
fun.
Degrassa
I-
listens to
Fear
nobody.
and loathing in Delco.
I just pick my own stories and run with it.
Oh, you pick your own stories.
Mhm.
Good for you.
There are assigned stories,
Yeah, like
but
ones that need to be covered, right?
right, the ones that, but not to me. I don't get a.
Is it all right?
That's
I guess the question I'm thinking is, like, you see like the movies, right? And you have like the editor who's yelling at everybody.
Get me pictures of
It's not
Spider-Man
like-
Yeah.
cleaning Suboxone off
It's
the
not
102.
like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like
Was
that
it like
anymore.
that though back in the
Back
day?
in the day, it was like
Like-
that,
like,
but it's
Let
not
me ask you a
anymore.
question. Today compared to say, what, 22 years ago, right before the it turned into the 2000s. Staff size, percentage wise, what was the difference? Like, is it 50%, 75% less? Like, what would you say?
Probably at least 75%.
Wow.
75% less. Wow.
It's huge. The
My
difference is
lord.
huge.
Hachi.
And the people
machi.
now have to do everything, like
I was gonna,
edit, digital. You have to do
right.
it all.
I was gonna
Right.
ask you, what about your photos? Do you just
I
go
can take
AP?
my own.
You do? Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So you gotta
That's
be a
why
photographer
If
too.
you look at my stories and they have like
Yeah, because she took our pictures
substandard-
together and they were in the article. Yeah, I mean, all the pictures-
substandard pictures.
I wasn't
you'll
in
know
that
why.
article. Yeah.
Are
I know.
there? So I know that everyone like covers their own stories and they get they get assigned. How does breaking news work?
Breaking news gets assigned,
Okay, is there
but we
specific
actually
ones?
have somebody who covers just the police, somebody who covers business. Like we do have those territories. Still.
Hypothetical.
Mhm.
A helicopter crashes on Vermont Road in Drexel
Everybody's
Hills.
got pitch in.
Everyone's got to
Everybody.
go and check
Yeah.
out that helicopter.
Yeah, like
Okay.
they'll just divvy
So
it
there's
up,
nobody
like,
sitting there going, all right, we need to find out the people involved. You're going to get an interview with the family.
Yeah.
You're going to interview the neighbors. Like, they
No,
don't
we
do
do
that.
that on our own. Like
Okay.
we have staff meetings and do that on our own.
God, you try to outdo each other?
No.
I would.
That wasn't very.
Holbrook is spiteful. So that's that.
No.
He runs on spite. He has Christmas spite. That's how he runs.
Wow.
You just want it to be good because everybody cares about. You wouldn't be there now if you didn't care about.
Now,
That's true.
let me ask, I'll say, with the way that things have shifted, media wise, like digitally,
Mhm.
like it's like, yeah, everybody has to succeed, right? Type thing.
It's anybody who really cares about the paper is still there. Because there were so many massive layoffs for 20 years, and a lot of people jumped ship. But if you really like love writing and love the whole career, then you wouldn't have jumped.
Okay.
You'd still be there. So it's a real care and bunch left.
Yeah.
Love
Labor
it.
of love almost.
A labor of love.
Yeah.
How do you guys?
See, is
So,
it?
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
Is
go
it?
ahead.
Do you? Is it harder now? Like before that, the technology boom with the phones and the cameras.
Mhm.
Is it? Do you find it harder? Was it harder then, or was it harder now to like produce a story?
I think it was harder then.
Harder now.
Because now with the internet, you can look and fact check yourself all the time. If you're not sure of the spelling of a name, you can look up. It's like a resource. In the old days, you'd have to make a little phone call.
You're the only
Yeah.
person from Delco Times that has actually noted spell check.
Well, we don't have proofreaders anymore.
Really?
What you write, it's right there.
Really?
It makes me want to be more
For a
liberal
long,
in
long
my
time.
critiques of like some of the articles from other writers because now
For
you're
a
saying
long
that they have to do everything.
They do, and
Yeah.
and
Change, man.
you have to put it out at lightning speed.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually one of the questions.
Yeah, that was going to be.
Because otherwise, it's old news now.
I was going to. I'll let you take it,
social
Holbrook.
media.
How
It's
do you
all-
get? So I mean, obviously there's certain stories that start like 6 ABC will break, and then we go like, oh, how's Delco going to cover this? How do you find the breaking news stories in between, like in between the nothing and the 6 ABC? Like, is this just people following community pages, Delco Dispatch, things like that? Like let's say last week, when the car drove through the front of Bocelli's, is that the name? Bocello's, like something like that, or let's say 476 gets shut down. Like, how would you guys go about finding that and then get assigned to cover something?
in a million ways it comes through.
Okay.
Not just people calling because you can't believe how many people call 'em. but you're hooked up to many outlets to get
Okay.
breaking news. Plus, you're following all the police, and the police will let you know also because the police reporters work with all the police stations, so they're right on top of everything.
So they got their sources, for lack of a better word. Yeah.
We all have our
Yeah,
sources.
yeah.
And I guess it would behoove them to get the correct story out
Right.
there, right?
Right.
And
so
that
you
kind
have
of
to do correct.
and that leads me to sort of like a question for you as just a journalist in general, and you see this all the time where accident on 995, 8 possibly dead, car fire, and they put out this story about 3 sentences long, more to come, and then it comes back, fender bender, everybody's fine, no fire, and nobody's dead. Like what is your like that kind of like news media? What do you like? What do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
Are you talking
The
click and bait? Are you
Like,
I'm sorry, click and bait, clickbait?
pretty much like where they there is something that happens, but they put out all this stuff with really just because they want to be the first to break the
I
story.
don't like that. We might be a little slower on the news, but it's more
Factual.
and checked.
Gotcha.
So I mean, we might not. That's mostly like social media. We'll get things out, boom, boom.
I
but
mean,
they don't know the facts.
I've seen like NBC. I've seen all the them put out like, oh, breaking news. Something happened on this street somewhere, and they had possible fatalities and this, that, and the other. Comes back, it was nothing, and they either take it down or they change it
No,
up.
we only put up breaking news when we know they're breaking news.
Gotcha.
Do you ever get does Delco Times or any other sources get calls from like the major media outlets like your ABCs, your 6 ABCs to go out and get like boots on the ground and report back to them for stories?
No, but they follow us. All the stations follow us because I've toured those stations.
Yeah.
And like with the press club behind the scenes, and they actually, I remember NBC 10 actually has people hired, and all they do is read newspapers all day to get stories.
Like,
so they've actually contacted me for courtesy to use our things in there.
Oh, that's cool.
When something is big breaking.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, back in the day, we were supposed to, on top of everything else, we were supposed to video everything that happened and have these videos
ABC always be cameraing
in our story. So, and we had these little dopey video cameras that the quality was so poor.
Things that you use to like watch your kids open like Christmas morning presents.
I think
That's still like the date and time.
It was like Bin Laden, the Bin Laden tapes.
They were this big, and we had them before. So I did a story on. There was a concert with Bobby Rydell at Marple Newtown High School. So I just did it like just for our paper and put it up. And then this is just one instance I remember because it was funny. And so it wasn't funny because he lost all his music, fell out of his car on Westchester Pike. All his songs that he wrote, the originals. I don't know why he had them in a briefcase there, but he lost them. It fell out of there. They had an SUV in however, I don't know. So they were putting up awards for, they were going to give rewards out to whoever turned it in. So Fox, ABC, NBC, they all were after, could they use my video? So I said, sure. So it's like professional courtesy. And you give it out. So here they are in their beautiful film and, their major networks.
Yeah.
And then they put on my little camera from 1960 video in the between. It was just comical because our video came.
So that went national then. That like went all
that
over.
went really big.
That's awesome.
And then as soon as they put up that reward, bingo, somebody found it. Go figure.
So that video, that little dinky video, got it found then.
It worked out.
I don't know about that. But it was just funny to fit in that nice filming and then our little video. So I was kind of happy when they cut that out because it was one less thing you got to concentrate on, like photos, video, social media. I mean, there's so many aspects you just want to get out.
That's why I was asking: is it harder now because now you have to do more? It sounds like you have to do more now.
Yeah,
where
you definitely have to do more.
And there's no editor anymore. You said you whatever you write goes right out. Nobody checks that.
Well, there's not really a lot of people there to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys have essentially become like it used to be like the freelance. What was that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, Nightcrawler?
Oh yeah,
the freelance crime scene guy who would try to be people to the police radio
Well,
stores.
it's not like
all
a
that,
Stephen King
and he would
thing.
just
Yeah.
take pictures. So now it's like you got to be there, beat them, take the pictures, get exactly what your editor wants, write the article, then proofread, upload, and all that stuff.
We do have a head editor now.
Phil Heron.
No, he
Oh.
hasn't been. He
Oh.
retired like.
I
4 or
wouldn't know.
5
I
years
didn't
ago.
pay the $1.99 to
Yeah.
read these articles.
We're 2 editors since.
And they don't proofread.
Well, it's kind of tough because of all the.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
a really small staff, and
Yeah.
there's a lot coming in.
So
And I keep mine to features because I have to do a lot in between. Like every day, I got to get up a community news page. Like we all have
Yeah.
stuff we have to do every day.
so that was going to be
So
my
I
question.
only have
Yeah.
a small window I got to write in between.
Okay.
So I try to keep, and I don't like to hurt people with like crime and police news and accidents.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody's always going to get hurt out. So I keep mine just upbeat, positive, fun
Awesome.
stuff.
Do you
And
need
us.
someone to be the
And
bad
And
guy?
us.
Yeah. Well, you fit in that.
Yeah.
We're upbeat.
Depends on
wow.
who. Depends on who
Yeah.
you talk
No,
to.
you are. You
Well,
make people
No,
laugh.
when we're on
and-
the upbeat of the manic episode, yeah, but manics are
Yeah. Right. We're on the upside before the slide
Slide me at my
down.
lowest. Oh boy.
Question. So in an average week, how many pieces would you write?
It depends. Some a lot, some just 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, then how does the Delco?
But I write every day. Like I write a piece for every single day,
Yeah.
like a community news page, and that takes a lot.
Okay.
Like today, I'm writing about a guy from Yaden that is going to be on tomorrow on the show called Too Hot to Handle.
Oh.
So it took me like half the day working with Netflix. 'cause he's
What's
on-
that?
Trying to get permission for everything. And all.
Oh.
So there's a lot more they get.
And
Yeah.
you wrote about the guy that was on the Kitchen Nightmares too, didn't you? Was that you?
Kitchen nightmare.
Coach, Chef Skeeve?
No, Chef
Gordon Ramsay.
Zeus.
show?
They called him
Oh,
Zeus.
I did it on.
Coco Jesus.
Yes.
I didn't do that one. I don't know. That.
Okay, I thought it was you. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Chef.
I did a couple
Schieferell.
chefs.
Yeah.
I did a couple people on Chop, the little kids,
Okay.
and I did the Guy Fieri a couple times.
Yeah, his name was Coach Steak. Chief Chef
Riki?
Steak.
Chef Ricky.
That might have been it. He's the guy who won the.
Yeah, it's Riki. It is.
Yeah, I did a couple of stories on him.
I follow him on social media. That's opening in a couple months.
Where's he open?
He won't say it officially, but it sounds like it's
So
going to
he's
be in
not
this
in
area.
Chester anymore.
I
He
don't
was
know.
a couple places. He
It's
was
wherever
at
Guy Fieri wants to
Frankie's
be.
on Fairview.
He might be, but they said they
Yeah, I
had
think
official
he's at
chicken
Frankie's
one.
on Fairview. What's it
Uh,
called now?
It's the
Cheesy vegan.
Yeah, cheesy.
I
vegan.
know that because
yeah.
my daughter's a vegan,
Yeah, cheesy vegan.
and she always tries to sit there and go, "It tastes like the real thing." I'm like, "No, it doesn't."
Frankie's on Fairview
Yeah.
is amazing. during
I
the
used
pandemic.
I
Yeah,
used to
I
love.
could not think of that name. Thanks.
What was it before? What was it before that?
Frankie's on Fairview.
Java Joe's.
Oh, Java Joe's. Before
I
Frankie's.
used to love
yeah,
Java
they were
Joe's.
really
It's
good.
always a good restaurant.
Yeah.
so
Java
everybody
Joe's
goes
is
in there.
great. They were open
Mhm.
from like 8 to like
Java Joe's
9:45,
was
but
great.
But-
Frankie's was great.
As a non-vegan eating at a completely vegan restaurant, the French toast and the pancakes were awesome. Just cheesy vegan. Just check it out. Pointing it out there.
too hot.
Yeah, I ate
too
at
hot
his
to
place
handle.
when he had it in Chester at the Days Inn. I
Okay.
think he still has
Oh,
that.
it's a dating show.
Yeah, Peg, I didn't like too hot to handle. Like it's
There's someone from Delco.
an
in it?
American British.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Is that like Netflix version of Cheaters?
it's like
Love Island.
Cheaters was great.
There's been so many of them.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of them.
It's
Temptation
9.
Island.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a
It's a
like a bachelor or
Young-
bachelorette type
bunch of
competition.
good-looking
It's a competition.
Single.
Hey, that's right. That's
Well,
That's
okay.
what I
Did
think
you
that was-
did you
I
write for
think that
that?
was the promo. They
Yeah.
had.
Wait.
that sounded great.
They're hot. They're
Wait a minute. Is that the one? That's
tune in at 8:00 tomorrow and see what shenanigans go
Oh,
down on day one.
promo.
My daughter was okay.
Perfect.
I know exactly what she was watching it. I thought it was like some Jersey Shore ripoff. But are these like really like good looking, rich? Some of them are like real rich people who like.
Out of Yaden, I'm going to challenge part of that statement.
Yes, I've seen that. I mean, I'm waiting to hear back.
Oh, I mean,
I'm
I'm going to
this-
ask a simple
this
question.
27 pack's ready to roll, baby.
I'm going to ask a simple question before I watch it tomorrow and then binge watch it until the end of time. Does he say he's from Yaden or does he say from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Well, he's not from Yaden. I mean, he was from Yaden,
Oh.
but now he just moved into Jersey.
That's a shame.
Sell out.
Well, there's
Would he
a-
cross the bridge and not have
there was
$5
a
to get
bridge
back?
Sweetsburg, yeah.
That's why he's rich now. He moved to Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, fancy.
Fancy Delco.
How important are the community pages for a
He was a
stories?
Bonner boy.
Was he really?
Mhm.
He a young buck, like less than like 30?
Yeah.
Good for him. La-di-da. Well, he left the county.
Holbrook's like, I guess they're going to call me.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just
Peggy needs
I'm
to
just
be
angry at myself.
He needs to be knocked
retroactively.
down every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Me and Holbrook are joining a different show.
Yeah.
We're too fat to fondle.
It's
We all have
Watch
good
out.
click.
too fat.
Watch out.
Too fat. Did you say too fat to fondle?
I like it.
Watch it.
I love it.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
We need to
That's it. That's my end for the rest
We
of
need
the
to
year.
get a promo for that one.
Yeah.
They're fat. They're fat and they're fat.
they're fat. They're slow and they're winded. Tune in at 8:00 to see what shenanigans happen when there's a Fudgy the Whale ice cream cake and not enough plates.
And at the top of the stairs.
That reference, Peg, was because Al ate a Fudgy the Whale taco
Ah,
out of the trash. Okay.
That's misled leading.
Well, we'll talk about
I was leading if you told us it.
The way you explained it, I took it out of the trash. I
it.
didn't
The short, it's a short tail.
It was sitting on top.
How important are the community pages to Delco Times and the rest of them getting stories and leads?
How I'm not sure I understand.
How important are the the Briarcliff community page, the Alden
Facebook.
community page, the Clifton?
Oh, they're great.
social
I
media.
troll them all the time.
Oh,
I
So
get
do we, but
ideas
for different
from them all the
reasons.
time. I sit there and just like look through them. I belong to every one of them, and I get tons of ideas.
they're the best. So yeah, I asked a question on purpose because I did poll about like your last 25 articles and then some, and I
But
could
then
tell
are they all like that?
there's a lot of the ones where I feel like the inspiration did come from the Delco restaurant
Yeah, I
review or
troll
things
them all
like that.
the time. But then also, people tell me like
Yeah.
people always almost
I was-
every day.
I was
people
going to
say-
ask you, do you get like tons of text messages?
Tons.
Hey, check this out. And you're like, no.
And
Everybody
I'm only
listens.
No.
one person. I can only do so many
Yeah.
stories. But like right now, I'm probably 15 stories behind of ones I want to do, but I gotta have time to.
Like, do you have to like, they kind of like outweigh, like, well, this isn't that time sensitive, so I can do this later. I'll do
That's
this.
what I do
Okay.
exactly.
What-
and reline them and.
What is your favorite community page? What has entertained you the most? I'm not talking good in like the way it's
Oh, I
run.
like the Delco happy hours because that comes from all over.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Well, I
Yeah.
think we have our own opinion here where we feel like
Let's hear
it was so awesome. It came in guns ablazing, and for like the first few days of that pandemic, it was the greatest
Wait, I know
concept. And then it just became so overly Delco
Mhm.
that it became like minor league Delco.
Yeah.
Because when everyone's got a voice, no one's got a voice, and it was just like it went from like cool, like drinking with my boys. Oh yeah, yo, I'm gonna miss this the next couple months. Into like, do you know we say water weird every 11 posts,
Yeah.
and then in between be like, do you guys know that like hoagies are like from here, guys? Wawa, do you know that's like a regional thing? It just became so overly like Delco 101, where it was like, I can't do it no more, and it fizzled out because it was so active. So that's one thing. I mean, it was an awesome idea, and it definitely got us through a tough time, but it just became,
Well, when we talk to the people, it's literally only supposed to be for a singular night.
Right.
and it was
Like,
supposed to be for a
just
singular
everybody-
purpose.
Yeah, like everybody at the same time on talking and kind of conversating when you can't, as you normally would, like you're at a bar or a restaurant
Brilliant.
or something. Yeah.
They deserve like some sort of humanitarian award if we handed them out this year. It was a brilliant concept, and it was
Good start.
executed perfectly. And then just when you get too many people, you're gonna run into some weirdos, and they're the ones who kind of hijacked it. And it went from just like, yo, where are you drinking at? Sorry, like this got this beer, this my boys got my beer, like just hanging out with the kids. It's just like 98 posts in a row of what's the best cheesesteak?
Right.
I say Mike and Emma's. No, dude, it's this. And then
It's the one 5
Well-
feet from my house.
what's the best hoagie that also sells cheesesteaks?
Yeah, it got watered down fat or watered.
And I'm like, this
funny
is
way I
what
say
the
it, watered.
restaurant review's for.
Right.
Oh man, that used to be that. Listen, at one point, I could have, if I didn't have kids, I kind of could have canceled cable and most streaming services and just
for the
just read the Delco restaurant review for the pure comedy of it all.
Yeah, I
like
read that.
like it gets bad, but like I said, I moderate the Clifton page. It gets bad sometimes, but I have to admit, lately, during the pandemic, the Lansdowne one
Lansdowne's is still
was phenomenal.
pound for pound. Lansdowne's may be the worst. It's not as active, but some of the posts are egregious. I know what you're going to say. Ridley is the best one recently.
I would say Ridley takes the,
Top tier.
Yeah,
the-
really.
the
Yep.
taco right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
There's a couple different ones too,
It
but
is.
yeah.
There
Ridley
are.
like got
Yeah.
offended by how ridiculous Clifton was, and then up to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I
Ridley's
ask-
is good.
Speaking of
Totally
Ridley, now this isn't you,
Don't speak bad
but
on
the Riffley that
Oh,
sent
can we clarify that?
we
There-
sent, that
alright.
sent Ridley through the roof.
So during the George Floyd riots and the aftermath and all that, there was a support the police / Black Lives Matter thing on McDade going up
I
to
remember.
420, and the headline of the Delco Times article literally said something in Ridley with an F in the middle. Rift.
I didn't read it.
I know we know it wasn't you.
It wasn't a
It
pun.
wasn't you.
Yeah,
It must
it
have
was-
been somebody from Interborough or something.
Yeah, and I was like, they misspelled the headline on the front page. It was good.
The running joke, though, because I went to Ridley, the running joke was that people from Ridley can't spell. So maybe it was done intentionally.
Yeah.
Rivdly.
Maybe it was.
So they want to see how many Ridley people
Yikes.
actually could figure it out.
Maybe it was. Who
So-
does the? Is there one person that does the headlines for the front page, or is it mixed?
Like who puts the thing together?
It's probably mixed.
You have to create your own puns.
But the main editor is responsible for the headline.
for letting that go.
But no, for the headline.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What, that was
Signing
dig-
off
that
on
was
it.
digital,
probably
wasn't
just done quickly.
that
yeah.
wasn't printed though, right? That was just digital, correct? The Riffley.
If it's digital, they correct it.
Yeah,
but
they did
really,
correct it.
We all can correct our own things. I got called out today because I spelled DuPont without leaving
The
a
capital-
space in between the
oh,
DU and
How,
you-
how fast are the grammar police on you?
Oh my God, I can
Oh, right.
imagine.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's brutal, isn't it?
That-
I run a couple different websites, including this one with Spaz, and we're like, I got people like I put a good article up, and like you said, something a little silly, maybe we got an accent mark or something, and people are like jumping down your throat on it. I'm like, and I'll respond back, hey, listen, you want to be our editor? Come on in, I'll give you access. You can edit all our stuff. Have at it, like. But then the grammar police just shut down after that. Like once you give them some work to do,
they pick every little grammatical error and sit and write long letters about it. And mail it.
Wrong misspelled
I like it.
letters
Yeah, I like it.
with poor grammar.
that's the thing is if I'm roasting somebody about
Yeah.
their grammar, I would never write it. I would do all video because the second I put something wrong, and anybody can make that.
We all
An
make
error.
errors. Sure.
Yeah, like I'd be like this second, but nope, you spelled it wrong. You're a loser too. Like start pointing fingers at them.
I literally sit there and do every single post I write. I read it
Agonize.
11 times.
if I had my way, the way you'd be able to respond on social media posts is you'd have to do it digital, you'd have to video yourself.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Show your face,
Right, that's
speak your
true.
voice, so you can't cower behind. You know what I mean?
I
I see a
agree with
lot
that.
less
Uh,
toxicity.
Yeah.
Twitter's the worst because you could be anybody. Like you don't have. At least with Facebook, they
Not
kind of.
anymore, bro.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can be
You can
literally
actually do
anyone.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, but like Facebook, like
For $8,
a
I'm
little
little
harder.
harder. Freaking llama.
it's a little harder to be somebody else, and you can still fake it. Don't get me wrong, but Twitter, like, just you can have 27 handles
Well,
and nobody. Yeah,
Elon's putting it in.
yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, okay.
So wait, so he had a good question about who picks and chooses what goes on the cover and all that. Who writes the name of the articles, like the headline? Do you write the headline,
We write our own.
including the puns? Did you? This was 10 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you put it in
Second
there?
year.
No,
Yeah.
there's one.
Oh, no.
There's a headline that will never leave my mind.
I know what he's talking about.
Oh no.
There was a storm in the summer of 2010-11, hailstorm, and the headline was, "Oh hell no!" Did you write that?
No, I didn't.
Because
write
whoever that is
That's
deserves
really good.
praise.
You know what? Phil Heron, he was a headline king. He wrote some excellent headlines. He
That-
would win, like, we get press awards. He
Yeah.
would win those press awards year after year. His headlines were wonderful.
Let me answer this
It's
question
so
real quick
fast,
since
no
we're on this
stop.
subject. Who chose what went on the site versus what went in the physical newspaper? How did that happen?
Well, everything goes on the boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel that every
But
story.
not everything
enters
that
on
makes
the
the
print
site makes
media.
the paper, right?
Well, the site could have things from out of the area,
Okay.
but anything in the area that you see, like when you write an article that like people say, when's this story going in? And I usually say, if you see it go up online, it's probably out in print the next day.
Okay. I wasn't sure of like because I felt like a few things, smaller things like didn't make it. So mostly everything you say that you guys write makes it to both
Yeah,
physical and
both,
digital.
both.
Okay.
What's the harshest thing anyone's posted about one of your stories on social media? Anything where you're just like, I'm looking up this person and waiting for them outside their house.
Or
With a
actually
crowbar.
even go the other way is like things that made you maybe a little nervous. Like maybe like I'm gonna lock my doors a little tighter tonight.
Oh, that got a little dark out.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm sure.
Wow.
Remember anything?
Which one made you that? You're into like, what are your fears?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I'm sure. Like,
I mean,
we
I
get hate messages for some of the dumb things we put out there. I could imagine like you have like
Not-
legitimate
Let me
stories.
tell
Not just jerks, creepers. Like,
Let me
Yeah.
tell all of our
Creepers, I know.
followers and fans, no one hates me more than me.
I don't write a lot of
all
I don't write a
7
lot of like
fans.
negative kinds of stories that'll draw a lot of hate mail.
Those are the ones
But
that
I've
get the
gotten,
most hate.
like creepy letters from like
Go on. What are you wearing, Peg?
no,
Yeah.
not that kind of creepy.
Oh.
Creepy like I don't know, just something that makes you like.
Has
Right?
any-
Can you think of anything? I'm trying to think of because I usually yeah.
Has anybody ever sent you anything? Like, hey, like here's my story. Read it. Tell you what you think.
Oh
or,
yeah,
or like
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Or
Here's a lock of my hair.
Like we're like a
No,
lot.
Happy
people asking you to
Kwanzaa.
read stuff for sure.
Okay.
But nothing like that.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Happy Arbor Day.
If anything,
Here's my slipper.
people are really nice. Like
That's
if
good.
I write something, they'll send me a gift, and I think it's my job. That's,
That's
what
good.
I do.
I
But I find people to be really sweet.
I think.
Oh, you
I
cover a
think-
very small part of Delaware
Yeah.
County.
What people think call hate. Like, it'll be
Right?
random
Just
stuff.
they think you know everything.
Tell us more.
Crazy
that's
5-minute
That's
voicemails
funny
and
because
stuff.
we get a lot of people asking.
My neighbor has an outdoor cat. Report on that.
Yeah, like that. Like they
Lock them up.
or they'll call you up and say, how do you? I don't know.
How do you plug in your Roku? What is
They
this
think- They
interweb?
think you know all things.
Well, that's funny because
I don't
during
know.
the pandemic,
Quiz hot shot. Where can I buy stamps?
Or people are asking you like questions about how to like fix their microwaves and stuff.
Yeah, like all kinds of crazy things.
go to
Right? They leave and I go, listen to this. Like, come on.
the Degrassa, the Oracle of Delco.
I smell a new Delco Live segment. What's
like
on
it.
Peg's voicemail?
Because it's funny, Peg, when we during the pandemic and especially during the riots, there was like people.
Great times.
Yeah,
Fun had by all.
there was
Especially in Riftley.
a rumor going around that there was a giant protest starting in Clifton around the Acme on Baltimore Pike and all that stuff.
Oh, next to the mosque.
Next to the mosque at
Yeah.
the yeah. And people were messaging us. First of all, I'm the last one you message for anything important. Like I would look at us and say, nope, not going to ask anything important. But people would come to us and ask us, like, what should we do? Who
You're
should
gonna
we
think like that?
call? I'm sitting there
Oh,
going,
thank you.
like, you should ask your police department, your mayor, your something, not us. Not drunk guys and Kerry in the basement doing a podcast. Like we're not the people to be asking, but yet we got flooded with messages on like what to do if the riot breaks out.
You ever get that? Where they ask for like at least like the next level of contact?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, it's because you're probably responsive. We were responsive. There was a point where the government really wasn't responding to their people. Makes sense, but
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, you're writing every day and people are reading it and like maybe they probably feel like if somebody's been reading your articles for years, they feel like
Comfortable.
Sure,
They
they
know
feel
you.
like
Yeah.
they know you.
yeah,
They
so
do
that
feel like
kind
they
of
know
makes a
you.
little sense.
And that's why we'll get messages from people who go, hey, fat guys, because they feel like they know us
feel
enough that
Yeah.
they can make the jokes.
Yeah.
So
they definitely
with
feel
that
like they
being
know.
said, Peg, I have some problems with my daughters that I'm gonna need.
Yeah. What is your ideas on rearing children?
We'll talk. We'll talk after the show. I need your advice.
my neighbor bought new curtains and it's freaking me out. What's he hiding?
My neighbor changed his Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
Can you call?
Is he on to me? Does he say things about me?
Did he write an article about me?
What's the favorite story you've ever covered?
A favorite story?
Yeah.
Well, a runaway story that I had that brought in like tens of thousands of hits and was really successful. Guess what it was on? True Delco like subject.
Oh God, favorite pizza joint or something like
Gosh.
that.
Oh wait. I definitely child man pays child support for the first time.
Ankle monitors on the red carpet. How you can look stylish.
Models on Baltimore Pike.
It was this. I used to write a column every week, right?
Mhm.
So it was the snowstorm and we couldn't get out. And my house adjoins Midgetville.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
I'm gonna write about Midgetville. Just came on, so I walked back in my snow boots, and I did a whole little story
On
on
Midgetville?
Midgetville. Never even thought it. It was just kind of to me a dope subject to
Oh,
put
it's
my
brilliant.
comment for the week. It ended up just going viral.
That's
Awesome.
And I even
All the weed people came over and started yelling at her.
if there were these kids shortly afterwards at Temple, and they were doing Midgetville as their senior project, and they asked me if I would be the expert witness.
Yes.
Love that.
In their,
Then they said, "You're
you
too
can find it
tall."
on YouTube. It's pretty funny. They really delved into the whole
Is this?
Midgetville.
I seen
Hey.
the movie. Well, how long ago was that?
I don't know, maybe like within the last 10 years.
They made like a movie about
They
it.
made a movie about.
I think I
they
seen
filmed
it, but I don't.
about the urban. Is it an urban
Yeah.
legend? or
Yeah,
whatever?
considered, I
And
guess.
I think I
Yeah.
know the one you're talking about. I don't know
Yeah.
how many movies were made on
Well, I'm
Midgetville.
featured in there as the expert. They even have a little ticker tape in front of you.
Okay.
The Midgetville expert.
When we do the most
That's
Delco town, the
Uh-huh.
brackets and all that, can you believe that Midgetville lost to Sharon Hill?
Midgetville, you had it up as a regular town.
They came up a little short.
Ah, good
my
one.
No,
No,
I was angry they lost to Sharon Hill.
Don't tell him that. 'cause
Don't
He'll keep it up.
encourage
He'll keep it up.
No, man, you know how happy I was the first year that we did that and Riftly won. And the representative came out and said this goes out for, Leadham, Ridley, Folsom, Midgetville. And I was like, it was like hearing the president talk about UFOs. I was like, the government's acknowledging the existence of Midgetville. I love this.
Yeah.
This is groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's right next to Weedham.
So
the
Midgetville,
weed
that's
people.
a great one. You ever do one on Satanville? I know it's like
No,
on the
I never
border.
did it on the same.
You ever been down to
We
Satanville?
Yeah, I
investigated one
remember
time.
from when I was in high school, out in like Concord, right?
Yeah.
it's
It has
creepy.
changed.
We investigated one time, and we're like being goofy
Everybody-
and funny, and we're like, this is creepy.
We didn't like. We
We-
weren't really. Yeah, we were like, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
It
let's
wasn't
get
outta
cool.
here. I
we
had
really we stopped recording. I edited out us crying like little babies.
It's like on camera. We're just like, yeah, guys, we're gonna do this, and then it goes like, someone brought a gun. Someone has a gun, right? Like,
Yeah.
we have weapons, right?
You freaked yourself.
We had this whole thing where I was
We're
gonna
thinking
get,
DuPont kids are chasing us, and
I was gonna go right in the middle and order an Uber, just have an Uber pick me up in the middle of Satanville. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
It is creepy. It's
Well,
like
the people I know that live on Midgetville, they're always saying that their kids come running in. All these kids are pointing at me, and they run in the house. And then one lady I know, she said she grew up on that Princeton Avenue.
Yeah.
And her dad was watching TV. She said he had his boxers laying there watching TV, and he said, "I can't take it anymore." And he goes running out. He said, "Get off our property!" He started freaking
And just
out,
people
running down.
jumped out of the
And
trees.
said the kids' faces made it
Well,
blue.
the kids are just small people.
well, that was when I was growing up in Riftly. They said if you go there,
The
they'll
old
throw
1940s.
fruit at you.
Right,
and
right.
stuff
That
like
was the legend.
Said the
Yeah.
That they're gonna throw things at you.
That's what I always tell people.
I actually went there to get something thrown at me, and I was disappointed.
I'd always tell people from out of the area that never been there. I'd be like, yeah, everyone thinks it's just like small people, but actually, it's just a bunch of really angry people that are mad you're there. I don't know what the problem is.
normal sized
Cliftonites? That's what I consider.
Did you go
Cliftonite.
to the Frost Fest
Freeze
Saturday
Fest? Oh, what's
in
the
Clifton?
Clifton?
Yeah,
Frost
the
Fest.
Frost
Wait,
Fest.
something happened
Yeah,
in
we-
Clifton and
where was
Al's
that?
not
It
aware.
trying to
was
remember.
the biggest event. They want to turn it into an annual.
Where was
It
it
was
at?
It was a 2-day Frost Fest. I think in the parking lot of the municipal.
Oh! Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, you live there. You
There was a
literally live
Christmas. They had the
catty-corner.
Christmas tree lighting. I know they did that on Sunday. But they. So that's what those tents were for. We had 6 people there.
Oh no, it was a FEMA camp.
No,
They're ready for COVID
no,
23.
seriously, in the
Well, I think it rained or something. They had to move it
They had-
day one inside.
oh well, maybe
because
they
of
had
rain.
black and orange. Like every other one was black and orange, like 10 by 10 tents.
That's
They used to do a fall farmers market like Ridley does,
Uh-huh.
and they started doing that last year. And I guess I thought it was just like a farmers market or a flea market. I did not know. I didn't know it was so big. It's literally across the street from my house.
Oh,
I literally like a block and a half away from there.
You're on like
right. I know where you live. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Aren't you a council member for Clifton?
Is that really a council member?
How did this get past you?
They don't invite him anymore.
It didn't come across my desk.
Doesn't everyone have like that one uncle they don't invite to like barbecues anymore?
It's funny. I almost lost the
I
election.
mean, hell's that, but just up the county.
I almost lost that election and nobody ran against me.
I just find it weird that you ran in something.
I know. I was winded before the thing even started.
I got a little.
Wait a minute.
gassy
Are you a
within
borough councilman?
No, I'm not a council person. So, mayor,
Not anymore.
not the current mayor,
He
but
got
Lombardo.
Uh-huh.
They need lay people for certain things.
Lay
Lay people.
Peasants.
Peasants, yeah. Or people who don't know what you're talking about. That's what lay means. People who don't know what the rest of the group is talking about. I'm not a politician. I
called
guess is the best
plausible
way.
deniability.
And they found two younger people from the area that have deep roots, and they asked me, and I didn't even know it until I went to vote that day, and I saw my name on the ballot. I said, I walk out like, vote for me,
Yeah.
like Richard Nixon, like arms in the air.
I am not a crook.
I am totally a crook.
What's the best breakfast in Delco?
Best breakfast?
Yeah.
Oh,
Man, that's a slowly dying question too.
there's a couple
Yeah.
good places.
What you got
I
to?
think Nifty's is still good.
Well, yeah.
We like the Brick House in Ridley Park.
Yeah.
Well, we love that place.
Yeah. So there's lots of
Best cheesesteak in Delco.
in trouble.
It's a bold statement,
You
but
have to though.
it's almost.
All right. Which
It's
pegs,
weird if you avoid the
which
question.
pegs go to? Not just because it can't always be your favorite because you're not going to go 10 miles
Right,
away.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Like my favorite, I'll say it right now, it's Mike and Emma's, but I can't always get it.
Yeah,
Right,
like
right.
that was.
So what is
Yeah,
your
let's
go?
face it, we're all lazy. You go for what's
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Peg, what's
that's
your go-to? Where do you go to get one?
Either America's Pie in Tinicum
Great
or
place.
Good
where
one.
they deliver, or I mean, I even get double decker wherever
Great-
they deliver
great place.
close
Fine place.
to
The place next to it was
That
terrible.
Dave
But-
Madonna? Hi,
What's up?
Peg.
What'd you say?
Dave Madonna says hi.
Oh,
Is
does he?
Is that the police
That's
chief?
what I was going to say.
I didn't know
Dave
it was
Madonna.
We gotta get Chief in here.
Yeah, there'd be some stories right there from
Chief's
you
awesome.
could
With,
tell.
with all the
Yeah, he's
wackos.
awesome.
Chief's awesome.
He's done a great
He
job.
was the
Oh,
one.
He was
who-
from Upper Darby.
He was the one who most Delco Town. He received it at Martin
Nice,
McGee's, and he
nice.
was
We
he
interviewed-
We interviewed him back in the RDR days.
he
didn't we?
put
years
stuff
ago,
out about
yeah.
that. He was
He's a
pumped
great
about
guy.
that. Yeah, he was really.
I remember when we interviewed Dave when we were still in my basement. when we were
Delco
under
Day
different-
wouldn't exist without his interview, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's actually what pissed me. Sorry, I cursed. It's what ticked me off enough to be like, we have to do something about this.
Yeah, that was the he was telling us he introduced us into, even though it was a Ridley thing, about the
Vesticop.
Vesticop. And that's what started the whole
Yeah.
Delco Day thing. But it was
Right.
funny because what made us want to interview, this is us in a nutshell. What made us want to interview him is the Twitter profile picture for the Upper Darby Police was the Simpsons cartoon donut with the pink icing and sprinkled on it.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we love it. And then we just started reading their tweets and we're like,
That's it.
this is gold.
Yeah.
He like was the first like lay person, like non-FBI, to pass the FBI sharpshooter exam or something. I'm like, perfect example. Interview the guy with the Simpsons thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
So with all the crazy people reaching out to you asking whatever, what is the single most ridiculous request you have gotten from a person for a story or anything within a story? Have you ever been interviewing someone they're just like, oh, can you not say this? Or when you're doing the interview, something weird happened?
Well, that's what always happens with a lot of people. They'll give you everything, then they say, "Oh, will you not use this, 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 this?"
Yeah, I know that.
And I'm
for a
like,
fact.
and you'll get it all
Do you-
written. And
Do you
then
actually get people
they
say
get
like,
cold.
cold
like
feet?
you can actually get people say like really super rude things to you though? Like we get people going, listen, you know, bleep 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 bleeps, you know, like
No, I
For
don't.
not-
Nobody.
oh, people have like, it's funny if you saw us walking down, waddling down a dark alley, you wouldn't want to just yell at us, but
Sleeping.
I mean,
in the
if you
back
can
alley,
outrun
yeah.
me, you're okay. But other than that, you know, I could just fall on top of you and you're dead.
Yeah, but what's the show that you just talked like? Peg's doing stories that are like lighthearted.
Yeah,
So-
mine are all
So
lighthearted.
if you
I keep
come
them
in
lighthearted.
like
I don't do
what
anything.
was the
Are
name
you,
of that show?
listen, I think Peg can kick somebody's butt.
Too Hot to
personally.
Handle.
All
Put
right,
it
so
in
I mean,
a
I'll
I
dro-
try
You know
to
what?
do
I saw
fun,
that
you know,
piece you did on Too Hot to
because
Handle.
there's so much like bad news and
Oh,
negative
yeah.
news. I want
Oh,
people to have fun when they read. Like,
I'll
quite
drop a
often-
name here. Christine Flowers. You
I
friends with
love
her?
her.
Not everyone in the comment section does.
No, I know.
She
but
writes more
I'll say-
controversial things. I mean, controversial is gonna get you flack from both sides.
Everybody
Has
might-
she ever like been like legitimately like angered or nervous from the things people say to her? Because I'll read one of her
She's
articles and
brave.
be like, I don't agree with this. And then I'll read the comments and be like, well, I don't disagree with it to that point, sir.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like
can't say
you have-
that,
if you have
sir.
the sand to
She's
put
got
it out
really
there.
good convictions.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
admire.
Hey, listen,
about her.
man.
She would not care what anybody thought. She was
That's
convicted.
good.
But
Yeah.
that's a good point. Like people just the I use the term scroll on.
Mhm.
Just if you don't like something,
Just go
just
on.
scroll
Yeah.
on. Like that's what's beauty about the
Yeah.
internet. There's always
People
something
are
around the
s-
corner that you can go. You don't
There's
have
some
to like.
angry people nowadays about
That's a
everything
fact.
now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, we have to keep Holbrook chained to the death.
I'm just too lazy to be as angry as I want to be.
If he was in better shape, maybe all be in trouble.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I just keep getting fatter.
The
Just weigh me
store's out
down,
of
slow me
twisted
down.
tea. Forget it. It's like Hulk.
I drink it
The
for energy and it does the
incredible
opposite. Do you have any control of the sound off?
We don't have it anymore.
Why'd you get rid of it?
Because it probably became the comment section pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because it was too time consuming.
Really?
None of us had the time
To go out and ask the people
to-
questions.
No, we don't have sound off. The sound off is when people called in the complaint.
Oh, I was like, what's the one where you guys used to have like,
People
we're at the,
poll. We don't have that
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
People
yeah,
poll,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that.
People
at the
poll.
local
Am I-
Lansdowne
yeah.
Mall,
I
we
hear
asked
more
10
people
people.
polls than you
Yeah.
want to know. And everybody, that's when I realized that people are so vain. Their pictures this big. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh no, my hair doesn't look good. Oh wait, you're going to use my picture? Well, yeah, that's the point of it.
Do you mind if I wear my
just-
pajama pants in this picture?
Without
Oh, I
your
don't want
picture,
it.
it's just
After
a
you
poll.
write all their comments and all.
Not
I
a
don't
people
want my
poll.
picture.
Were any of you
More
ever in
people
that?
are hiding from the law or something because nobody wants their picture in the paper.
I was in one of those in
Oh, were
like
you?
2006. It was outside Delaware County Community College, and this was during a weird span
College
where
seventh year.
DCQ'd would have like 3 bomb threats a week.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
they
that.
asked me like if I feel safe, and I like gave the worst answer you could have. I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, generally, yeah, but if evacuating down one road with 300 people, just walking down one isolated aisle seems like a bad exit strategy.
So you laid it
was a
out.
smart
You
answer.
laid it out for the
Yeah.
terrorists, basically.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
I was like, oh, there's a shooter, so you're gonna put us all together. Okay.
Do you want me to soak all of us with gasoline?
Am I-
while
am
we
I
do this?
call-
You know, like,
Am I
this sounds
calling
a really
this-
good idea here.
Am I calling the sound off the wrong thing? There was this section where it'd be like someone will write like a perfect example. So it's the shirt I'm wearing for the light up green for the kids in Havard town that all had cancer at the same time. Someone was like, "Why are they green? It should be pink."
Sound off.
That was a
Right,
sound off.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then someone was like arguing back and was just like, "This is ridiculous," but I love it. But it's ridiculous. Okay, that was the sound off.
The people
Yeah, we
poll was
kinda-
like,
The people poll, yeah.
Did you? Was it? I don't-
We
I-
stood outside
from
the
what I
Primus
remember,
Wawa.
it was like there would be kids too. Was it easier to do kids? Is that like why you guys been asked like poll kids, like little kids?
No,
Probably because they
just
would
to
say
try
less
to
rid-
get a cross section.
Oh,
of
okay.
it.
I
And they
thought-
probably said less ridiculous things.
It was who would agree to do it. Kids usually were easier to
That-
sure,
that-
but then their parents, no.
Oh shit!
Did like you ever get something that's like, sorry, sir, we can't use that in the newspaper? Like,
Saying something outrageous.
Yeah.
like,
Nah, I don't
really.
think so.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh, when I did the one for DCQ, the person answered me, I'm like, they are not going to use that. This dude's a psycho.
Well, I mean, you could knock some out. You always needed 5 of them, so you could knock if somebody was too objectionable.
Yeah.
I always did extras just in case you get back
Sure.
and the person's eyes were closed or something.
Yeah.
You know, on the
Oh,
photos.
I thought you meant for other reasons, like they're.
oh yes, the guy that's his
Or
eyes
hospital
closed.
Google.
They were nodding out because
Yeah,
they're
that's what I
DCQ dude.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
we
his eyes are
actually
closed. And he's wearing his Snoopy pajama pants.
we're doing something coming up where we actually stole the concept from that. We're gonna do Delco Family Feud, and we're gonna do it how the people poll used to do it, where it would be like we stood outside the Holmes Wawa and asked 50 people. That's what we're gonna do. Is it'd be like, yo, we're standing outside this place, we're standing outside the Royal Farms, standing outside this bank, and ask people. We did get that idea from.
The people poll. Yeah.
You know, I was on Family Feud twice.
Really?
I'm an alum.
Tell us everything.
Oh my!
Why did you wait an hour and 9 minutes
I
to tell us
know,
this?
not Steve
Yeah.
Harvey.
You were in a
No,
Jason
Richard
Kelsey
Dawson.
commercial
Richard
too.
Dawson,
in
the
the
real
80s.
one. Yeah.
And the
No
original.
way.
Was he Richard Dawson? Did he kiss your
We
hand?
tried
I was going
out.
to say, was he as touchy as they say he was?
We tried out in the 80s at the Adams Mark Hotel on City Line.
Oh my goodness!
And-
Apparently, that's where he did a lot of his tryouts.
And back in those days, they flew you out. I don't think they do that on shows.
You have to pay to
anymore.
go out there now.
Yeah.
That's
They
deep.
paid everything. They put us up on
No
in this
kidding.
beautiful.
You were on Family
Beverly
Feud
Hills-
twice
Twice. So they made it
with different families.
They
Did you
have,
leave
like,
a family and then go join another
They,
one?
no, they have an outside agency watch that there's no cheating. So after we got home, they called us and they said the other team cheated. That they found them. They called out an answer when it wasn't their turn, and then used the answer. So they invited us back. So we got 2 trips out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you
The
win?
first one we lost, and the second one we won.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Oh, we're finding
You
this.
get now. Do you remember how much you won?
yeah, it was 10,000 and some, but split by 5 now. Remember,
Sure.
And
And
taxes.
taxes.
and taxes.
Yeah.
yeah, but 2,000 after taxes.
So you owed about
We
200
did the
bucks.
trip. We did the trip.
1,600 bucks after that. 1,600 back in the 80s
awesome.
or 90s.
Right.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Do you have a video of it?
Yeah, we have the
That's
videos
awesome.
and photos.
Yo, find the
I'm
dates
looking.
around that because
I'm
It's
looking.
85, 86.
okay,
Yeah.
they have all the old seasons on at least one of the streaming services. I have
Richard
right now.
Dawson, he was the best one.
He
Yeah,
wa-
he
he
was
was-
the best. Yeah.
Do you remember what like some of the categories were?
I went for the big money, and it was really nerve wracking because my sister in law went up first, so she already got
the
like
closer deal,
130
yeah.
some points or something, and I was like, I miss this. My family's not going to talk to me on the plane
I probably would
ride
have. I
home.
would have probably failed on
They're
purpose
going
just
to
for that.
kill me. They're
Yeah.
never going to
So
talk
you
to
only
me
had
again.
to get 67 points, and you did.
Yeah, whatever it was, but every answer I said, she already took.
It
so
buzzed.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
So I was like in a
Wow.
sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we made it under the wire.
How it
I gotta look at that
seems
when I
like
put
it
my
would be
shoes on.
really stressful.
It was
Like
stressful.
because you're
Tends to
saying,
be.
what are you looking at
It's
into an
very
audience?
stressful. Yes, they have you facing the audience.
Yeah, and you hear that buzzer, and you're like,
Right, and you're like, and the
Wow.
pressure's on. Your whole
That's
family's
awful.
sitting there talking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
My big claim to fame is
We're
I won
this
a.
close to
That-
$10,000.
that's so cool.
My big,
That-
my big claim to fame is I won a Super Mario Brothers contest at Blockbuster Video in Springfield. Like when I was 9.
Oh, Al,
No,
we-
I won a free movie to rent. Then
I was the
Wait,
East
did you-
Coast
was it by
champion for
drawing?
Funko.
By a drawing.
no, like
that.
they would put you in front of a Nintendo. You had to play. You had like
Oh,
2 or 3 minutes to play and rack. It wasn't about like beating the levels. How many points you could rack up in like that
oh, well,
3
that's
minutes.
skill. That's good. then.
Yeah, it really paid off.
So wait, you were on Family Feud twice with a wild story behind that. You were recently on a commercial with Jason Kelsey.
I was.
Explain.
Well, Vidian up
Yes.
there in New Town Square. They're one of our good
Never heard of Town Square.
They're a great advertiser. Edgemont.
I live
They-
there. I just moved. I sold out.
They're a really good advertiser with us. So they're really friendly with the paper. And he called up Steve Vidian and he wanted a reporter. He just asked, would you play a reporter in this commercial?
Do you like this
I
a bit
said-
of a stretch?
So
Yeah.
I thought, that sounds fun. Sure.
That's awesome.
Sure. So for a full day, I stood there with my notebook and my pen. It was a press conference, like a fake press conference. And Jason was at the press conference, and my role was to say, Mr. Kelsey, over here, Mr. Kelsey, to play the reporter
We go.
592 times. Mr. Kelsey.
Did you say pay hungry dogs run faster?
Did you get to talk to him at all, or was it?
Afterwards,
Yeah.
you know I got that photo and all
Yeah.
that.
100%.
Yeah, he's
Super
an
nice.
honorary Delconian, by the way. We should get him for
We're
Delco
swearing
Day.
him in. We're swearing him in.
He lives in
Havertown,
Havertown.
yeah.
Yes.
We need to reach out to him on that one.
I think we know someone who knows him.
Yeah.
I think he's been waiting for us to reach out to him. Actually,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Jordan Mailata knows us now.
I mean, remember that one picture we posted? You said when you squeezed in that Clifton Heights jersey,
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely.
we said it's Jason Kelsey just gave up.
I bet you could reach out to him. And
100%. He does the Seattle ice things.
Yeah.
He can absolutely do it.
We've had Hollis. Maybe Hollis will put a good word in for us.
We had Jordan Mailata.
And we had
He
Jordan.
plays next to him, Al.
That's true. We call Jordan.
We got Brandon or Barrett Brooks.
Barrett Brooks. Yep.
We got them all. Got the whole O line.
Stop name.
I like anytime I'm not the biggest
So
person in the room.
fast.
You know, nobody likes a brag.
I like anytime
Stop, Holbrook. I keep trying to take my shirt off.
I like anytime I can be the small spoon in a situation.
Yeah, right.
What does the future hold for you in the journalist industry?
Just keep on writing until
Keep
my
on
hand
keeping
falls
on.
off.
Wrap it up with 17 stories. Yeah.
It never ends.
You're
I
not.
could-
Do you ever want to like be the editor or like anything else, or you just want to be that reporter?
Well, remember I told you I am.
You're your
a
own
producer.
editor. I mean, like the Phil Heron like level and all that.
It's that
No.
short.
You don't
term.
want to do. You don't want to do.
Mm-mm.
Love it.
Do you ever have your daughters look over your work for a little feedback?
No, I look
She does
over
not
their
respect
work.
their opinion.
Do you get inspirations for stories from your daughters?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
because that's
because
coming
they're a
up.
lot younger, so
They're out.
I'm always asking her. I'm like, "Is this trying to stay with what's
Yeah.
Is this,
popular?"
is this what the
and
cool
trending?
kids do? The cool
No, I
kids
always
do.
ask.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It makes it
Well, I
feel
instantly
I-
asked her. I said, "You ever hear this show?" Because I never watched
Yeah.
it. And she, "Oh yeah." I go, "All right."
All right.
I just try to
Check.
stay trending.
Yeah, the
and-
next
Yeah.
video on the Delco Times website is going to be her oiling up one of the hot
I hope
dogs.
so.
Did you interview Jim DiBattista when he was on The Biggest Loser?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, so you have a track record of the reality show.
a
like
lot
people.
of shows. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like to do the reality show people
How was Jim
because they're so
DiBattista?
excited, and it's
Sure.
their time to be excited.
And the crazy thing is, I'm sure they're like
He's
eager to.
amazing how he kept it off. Is what
Oh, it's still
really-
off. That's good.
Somebody
Yeah,
to
as
show
far
off.
as I
Yeah,
know.
la-di-da.
Yeah.
I lose weight. And I
He didn't
keep
lose
it off.
35 pounds to see that as a challenge. Like,
From
I
Essington, right?
Yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
from Essington.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
All right, so I pulled like 25 of your articles,
Uh-uh.
and
We're gonna
I just
read
have
every one of
rapid.
them.
We're starting them.
No,
No.
these are only the
Those are gonna
headlines.
be
These are
blast from
only the
the- okay.
headlines, and I have just rapid fire things that just crossed my mind this morning when I was on the toilet reading them.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, that's where I do most of my writing.
Set that visual up nicely.
Works for me.
He did wash his hands before he brought the printout, so we're okay.
Notorious hand washer.
Yeah. Everything you look at Holbrook, you think washed.
His hands are immaculate. Hands of God. Hands of God. Body of Satan.
Yeah.
This body is a temple,
How do
but
you
not
think that
but a
bleach-
temple
how do you think that
university.
bleach got all-
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I just wanted to feel pure.
I
Your
think
most
Dexter had a lot of bleach on his shirt too.
your most recent one that came out this morning. Media Theater Veterans Media Theater Veterans Alliance honors Vietnam combat veteran Jay Joseph. So when did you actually do that interview?
Saturday night.
Saturday night, and then you published it this morning. 6:44 a.m. Are you up that early, or is that just when they publish through the
No,
site?
I'm not up that early.
Okay.
It publishes that early online.
Okay, I have further stories. I do have specific questions about that.
That was in like today's print.
Okay. Do you think that the media theater is a cult?
I don't want to comment on the media theater.
It's not a no. How much does the media theater hate America because they spell it with TRE at the end? Do they know this isn't Quebec? It's rude that they're honoring a U.S. hero and spelling a theater TRE.
Just let him get it off his
Not
chest.
a
Greg.
good-
Just let him vent.
Peg,
This is-
Peg,
this
can I
is-
teach you?
You're right. That actually isn't a question.
I was waiting for you to
I-
finish. That wasn't a
I had a mild hangover when I wrote these. Is that like a full-fledged one?
You
Where
are now
yeah.
Hollywood's psychiatrist.
Yeah. Peg, let's go. Next question.
Yeah.
Why do
number
they spell
24.
TRE? Even the communist Lansdowne spells it TER. Strathaven alums reunite in off-Broadway show in New York City. It just says two Strathaven grads cross paths again in off-Broadway production. That was yesterday's story. What play was it?
Sesame Street, the musical.
Was it really?
There is a
Yeah.
Sesame Street musical, huh?
Are these two Strathaven grads looking forward to their future in the media theater Viva Quebec?
Move on.
All right.
Sometimes
Number
he
23.
Next question.
Number 23.
Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't know how to move on from a joke.
Upper Darby's Schoner Music Man Academy receives a $10,000 grant. $10,000 grant to support Upper Darby Music Man programs. Is the person's name really Schoner Music Man?
The person's name? No, that's the name of their program.
Is it related to the Upper Darby Save the Arts platform that was like all the buzz a couple years
Yeah.
ago? It's related to that.
Mhm.
Okay. What's it go to? To the actual like inside the school, like buying the products needed to keep it going.
Well, I think the music program is like a part of the whole performing arts,
Yeah,
and that's what they cut out. So now they got to fund it. in
10
different
grand's a
ways.
good turnout in
Mhm.
general. Okay, okay. 2 days ago, Aston Lionesses Club roars with opportunity for women. That number one is a sweet pun. And
I'm sure they never heard that one before,
I like it.
but I wrote it
they
anyway.
roar with opportunities for women.
When I was writing, I'm sure they never heard this one before.
And this is what I wrote early this morning in my haze. Sure, they could use this club to find friends in Aston, but if you're looking for deals on great sheds in Aston, head down to Rick Sheds at 2760 Concord Road, Aston, PA. Half price off the windmill sheet shed if you tell them Delco Live sent you. What is the Lioness Club? What's it do?
Just like the Lions. Only before they could never have their own charter, but now they're all women, and they were tired of asking the Lions if they could do this, if they could. So they broke off, and now they have their own charter, and they were always the Lions.
You go, girl.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
They were really a nice group of ladies,
I believe it. They're from
Yeah.
Aston. I
and they
mean,
do a lot.
home of the greatest sheds in the world and great cocos. PJ Wellahan's cuts ribbon on newest Delco location. PJ Wellahan celebrates grand opening in Lawrence Park Shopping Center. We had no PJ Wellahan's forever, and now we have two within a half mile of each other. Have you ever been to a PJ Wellahan's?
Just once over Jersey.
Oh, not even the local ones.
No, not even local.
I didn't know we had local ones.
No,
Uh,
I didn't. Oh no, I was. I forgot. I was at the Newtown one, Edgemont.
The Edgemont one, yeah. That's where I'm at now. It is the closest thing I have to a dive bar, and it is still the nicest bar I've ever been in.
Yeah. It
Holbrook
reminded me of,
doesn't
like
feel
an
right in a
Applebee's
normal
or
bar.
one of
Yeah,
those kind of places.
So,
Like a chain.
yeah, but they don't have like the Jello shots. That'll get
Were
you
they
kicked
the
out
were
by
they the
6 p.m.
company that supplied the wing bowl? Was it
Yep.
PJ Wellhands was the company?
It
Were they?
became
At the end.
it
Oh.
became it. That's when the number started skyrocketing because PJ Wellahan's had like the wing dings kind of. So you would have people winning with like a score of like 100, like 95. PJ still go over to the wing dings, and all of a sudden people were in like the 500s.
Oh.
It was just to boost numbers, and also PJ Wellahan's wings are pretty good. Local residents get a chance to meet the authors of Kidnapping and Murder of Gretchen Harrington. Authors of the book on 1975 Unsolved Marple Murder have a book signing on December 3rd. Who is Gretchen Harrington and what happened to her besides being murdered?
According to the authors, I don't remember when it happened.
75, it
But-
says.
They said that she was walking to Vacation Bible School. She disappeared.
In that area?
And she lived in Marple. So on her street, she disappeared, and never to be heard of again.
Ever again. Never found the
these
body.
Two
Do
authors.
you think the authors did it?
That would be the ultimate,
they-
like, that'd be the ultimate thing. Like,
Throw
commit to
them
murder,
twist.
get away with it
They-
for like 30
They were
years.
growing up at that time, and they said it changed everything about their whole life.
Kids can murder.
To this day, with their own kids, that they're like they were never allowed to do anything. Like the parents were obsessive, like helicopter
Oh.
parents.
Yeah.
And
I would
they said-
imagine. Like,
They
you're-
said they're the same way today with their kids because of that murder. And
Really?
they never solved that murder.
I have
Which is
never
even-
heard of it.
That's
like
scary,
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did.
Well,
those
it's-
authors.
we've talked about this before on the show. Like,
The Gretchen Harrington murder of Marple? I don't think so.
no, I'm
I
talking
know
about
I
like,
have my binges.
no, I'm talking about like how parenting, like 3 or 4 of us on the show are parents,
Uh-huh.
different level, ages
Mhm.
and all that stuff. I have the older ones and some younger ones, but like certain things you used to do, like that you didn't think twice about, like sending your kid to vacation Bible school,
Right.
going to church, going to school. You just felt safe. Like you just like there's
Right,
nothing to
it's a
worry about
different
there. But
world.
it's like it's not the same
Mhm.
way anymore. It's a sad fact, but it's true. Like you can't send your kid to school and feel 100% safe. You can't send your kid to walk up around the corner. Like my 7-year-old wants to go to a park that doesn't have to cross the street, just right around the corner from
Yeah.
us, and I have to worry about them the
Yeah,
entire
Yeah, but
time.
the key is that I'm fine because I have little ones. Carrie has a little one too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how you feel about it, but my problem is I have all them feelings, but not projecting it onto them.
Yeah.
So they're not little balls of anxiety.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's where I.
Like I said,
try-
I'm the one worrying about like I said in school, like I mean, Upper Darby School District. I have two older kids. How many minutes a day I get a message? Oh, school's on lockdown because of
Lockdown.
bomb threat or gun.
They should change the name from the Royals to the Lockdowns.
Yeah, that would be pretty easy to figure
Are
out.
are you a ball worry with your little one?
I was just 2.5. I got to go to the park with it. I'm not sending my 2.5. By myself.
Why not?
I hope.
No, I know,
not?
but like
The walking to the park, the hardest part is the walking.
Actually,
Yeah.
did you just tell me your daughter is your designated driver for when you get a little tipsy? I mean,
Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got too many DUIs.
They borrow one of those.
I don't want to get DUI, so I'm a 2.5-year-old
Okay.
driving.
One of those remote control Broncos.
Yeah.
No, I would hate to raise kids nowadays. I say that all the
And
time.
I'll tell
I'm
you
so
right
glad
now,
my
and
kids
not to
are
get off on
raised.
this tangent, but social media had ruined it for us. Like I told my dad the other day, listen, Dad, I was a handful. I get it. But when I was home, you didn't have to worry about me.
Right.
You know, I was playing video games, but I
Right,
wasn't
'cause you're
online.
not in that whole.
Like my kid could be up in his room and I have to worry about like,
Right.
is he on his phone talking on some sort of messenger thing?
Right.
I'm even unaware if it exists.
Right.
And them talking to me because it happens. Trust me. It's
Right.
crazy.
Delco Press Club presents Pat Cherokee in interview with Bobby Rydell's widow. You brought up Bobby Rydell earlier.
Yeah.
All right, so it's come full circle. What is the Delco Press Club?
The Delco Press Club. I'm a past president, so I'll give a commercial.
Okay, so you have been
It-
awarded by them because you literally led it. Okay.
It's for anybody in communication, like newspaper, TV,
Internet
PR
radio?
people for Mhm.
If-
Podcast?
You guys would be great members.
My question, I was actually going to, because it was funny that you bring this
I'd
up.
like
You
an
guys
award.
would be great
Between
members.
this and my other company, Edge of Philly Sports, like we
Mhm.
write a ton of articles. I'm like, me and my buddy's like, should we see if we can sign up for it? And they're like, they probably wouldn't like us, or take us
Yes.
serious.
We would welcome you.
Can I sign up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you really give out awards?
Do you meet?
Oh no, that's a different one.
Oh,
This is Press
oh,
Club.
oh.
We don't give out awards.
No,
That was Philadelphia Press Club.
And the fact-
I understand. If you just stopped giving out awards
And
moments
to the
ago.
fattest moron on this.
I would give it to you guys. But we don't do this.
We made him an award just so Holbrook feels better about himself.
Wait, we should have actually made something up. We actually gave you the Lifetime Achievement Award last year, and we forgot to like ship you anything for it.
Yeah, we did on the show. I
Like
remember
it was actually on the we had a thing called the Delcoes or something.
the
Counties.
The counties.
The counties
The
award.
counties.
with the little
And you and Joe Holden won our Lifetime Achievement Award for journalism.
your trophy is downstairs.
Yeah.
in a tote,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Dang, we left it in Ridley.
when we moved, it's probably still back. there.
Yeah, Yee has it.
But it's for anybody in communications of any sort.
So okay,
What's it do, like,
I will talk to you after the show. I would like to sign us up. For that. That'd be
Okay.
cool.
Okay,
What's
great.
it do?
What's it do?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's a good
all
question.
kinds of stuff. Marguerite's on the board
Yeah,
right
just
now.
on the board.
Because she's in communications with the
Yeah.
chamber.
Congratulations.
Does it help you like get indoors, like meeting, like for instance,
You get to meet a lot of people.
that's
a
my
lot
thing
of
is like
people. Mhm.
running a sports thing. Like some sports, like take the Flyers fans. I got credentials for that,
Mhm.
but like Sixers are a little harder to break themselves
Uh-huh.
into. Like, does that help with those kind of things?
Probably not.
Okay.
But there's a lot of interesting
But I'll take-
places that you get to tour.
Okay.
You do
Fort
Yeah.
Mifflin, we
You
already
get
did that.
behind the
A lot of
scenes of a lot of
interesting
things.
Cool. All right. Well, then
Uh,
consider me
cool.
signed up.
You get behind
Spaz,
the
can I have your credit
scenes,
card?
and we always have really interesting like guest speakers, and we do happy hours. We do all kinds
How
of
often do you
networking
guys
Sold,
meet?
sold.
Yeah.
every month.
Every month. Okay.
And
Uh,
then if there's special events, and we affiliate with the National Press Club in Washington D.C.
I think
So we've
I
been
think
down
my
there
mom
a
would be
couple
happy to
times.
know that I'm going to meet and drink with people that aren't these guys. So like that would just be like a huge
I think
plus.
you all could join.
I'd be
I
happy-
think you'd all like it.
I'd be happy to be part of a club that wasn't the Columbus Club at 2:30 in the morning on a Friday night. Oh God. Swap.
Do a radio. package.
Jim Degrassa
We
says, "Congrats on the county's award."
You made it. You
Yeah.
can retire.
Hun, come home. It's it. You've done. You peaked.
I'll call our trophy guy media.
Yeah.
And get him to make it
We
more.
have a trophy.
We
guy
have
who's
it. We got
hilarious.
several trophy guys, but this guy's the best one. You should. I don't know if he has an official business. I don't know if I want to give him like more business than he can handle. There's a really good trophy guy. Makes
Oh
his
man,
trophies.
our when we did the what's it called?
Oh, the Masters.
The Masters. We do
Yeah.
the Delco Masters, the putt in Clifton.
It's
Uh,
all sorts of
he-
custom made ones.
He made some crazy custom
Labor,
made.
he's a labor of love trophy maker.
Yeah, like
Like
he
they
does
don't
it because
look like normal trophies.
and he does it because he wants to. Like he's not doing it because he's trying to make a big
Okay.
business.
I
out
like
of it.
tried to hand him cash, and he like was like shoving it back like at me, like
He was very excited.
And then
to do
Hobo
it.
took it to go drinking.
so happy. I got so drunk because he gave me that $30 back. Swarthmore Library has plenty of holiday and non-holiday programs. I want to point this out that this was posted at 6:10 a.m. Was that on purpose?
It's not me. That's true.
I know.
No,
I know you said that, but at the same time, 4 out of 20 of these were posted at
it
6:10 on the
goes up
dot.
automatically scheduled.
Did they schedule for
Do
6:10
they
on
schedule for
purpose?
6:10
We
on
do
purpose?
that. We
They
do that.
schedule? No, but
That'd be funny.
That'd
I
be
mean, it would
funny.
be interesting if
It'd
that's
be really
like that was
funny.
like one of those little hidden Easter eggs.
It might
in
be
the
one
Delco
of those
Times.
little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Everything we do is 610.
So this is the Swarthmore Library has plenty of holiday and non-holiday programs. Is the non-holiday because they are year-round, or is it because they think that the holiday is non-binary and not the festivity it was assigned at birth?
I think it's just ongoing programs.
Okay.
I don't know.
She's like, I'm not answering this question, moron. Move on.
I noticed that you say they have plenty of programs, but not plenty of cheer. That's not a question.
It's not.
That's not a
By the
question.
way, I'm just
Most of these
listening.
aren't.
I'm just listening.
What's your least favorite Delaware County town?
Anyone that
My
you live in
least
apparently.
favorite
Hobo.
town?
Yeah.
The ones that really aren't towns, like Garnet Valley. It's no
Great
such
answer.
place.
Oh, great. We're gonna get some
answer.
email
I
again.
agree with you that it is, but all those fake places that really aren't towns.
The ones who call themselves Delco when it suits their needs.
Can I talk out of pocket for a second? I think just because we
Just
talked
for the
about cults
second?
earlier, Garnet Valley I think is a cult. I went down there. I went down there to a place called Ashley's, which used to be a
Oh, yeah,
total
that was-
hick bar
yeah.
like 10 years ago. My band used to play there,
It's all
and like
wise show.
it was like playing like rural Wyoming back then. And I went there, and everyone was so nice, but like overly nice. And then, like,
I want to wear your skin to a
And
birthday
it was
party.
this
Hobo.
combination of like from 70 down to 21, and it was like either people coming from playing football or CEOs like doing this, and they basically all have to wear their Garnet Valley stuff out from 21 to 70. Like they're wearing their high school stuff. And I know that there was a little bit of like a fundraiser going on, but it was like the entire place, all 4 rooms were this, and they weren't all there for this thing.
Well, I think most Garnet Valley peaked in high school.
Look, I work at a Villanova bar, and you know how many people wear Villanova stuff unless it's game day? 0. At Garnet Valley, they're just like, yes, it's a Friday random.
Well, they don't have many Villanova polos, so that could be why.
Dude, they're and
Do
they
you
were,
want
they were
entrance
overly
into the
nice.
cult? Is that what you're aiming?
Yeah, are you upset that another?
you,
You upset that cult
No.
that you didn't start
Dude,
started? Like I feel like this is going.
No, number one, my cult would destroy them. Number one, they have Garnet Valley next. Sorry, they have Satanville next to them, and they're not utilizing it. Pathetic. I wish geography-wise we had a Satanville around here. We would totally.
We might have to
use
call,
that.
Satanville.
you might have to call Satanic Delco on that one.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
speaking of
There's a
cults,
thought.
yeah.
plenty of devils around here.
but it was like I was there. I was so happy. I tipped well. I was so nice to everyone. I'm like, it's so nice. And when we were leaving, I'm just like, anyone else think they just got the worst skeletons in their closet? And then
I
they
feel like
started, and then they started coming out. I'm like, no one's that happy.
I feel like anybody who has to say they tipped well doesn't tip well. I just want to point that out.
That's true. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. 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 You're not
noticed
wrong.
how you threw
That-
that in there.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That $3 he gave the waitress really put the kids through college.
No, I have earned the reputation where I can say I tip well normally.
It's just because he can't tell the difference between a 20 to 1 when he's blackout drunk.
I've served.
Like I
Hollywood.
carry cash.
Yeah.
I've served Hollywood, and he's an exceptional tipper.
Yeah, I was very nice to them. They were
Don't
nice
eat
to
the
me.
yellow snow spaz.
No, he is. He is.
And at first when I was leaving, I was just like, I was just jaded by being so Delco, where I'm like, no families are that happy. And then all of a sudden, I started realizing, I'm like, because I'm like,
She might become his therapist by the end of this show.
no one's family is that genuinely happy all the time.
I don't know. I think
even
the
out in
Degrassa family seems pretty happy. Even Jim's excited about the county's award. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna see like a post from Peg like they're gonna be out to dinner like celebrating my county as their nomination
whenever it's completed.
Can't wait to see it in 2027.
Yeah. Whenever it shows up from Amazon, which I just ordered. You still have a label maker right now.
Did you get the label maker?
Who needs a Pulitzer?
Yeah. When you
We
get
still, we still have one left over one from the
I hope you
bastards.
spell it right. Don't drop the O by accident or something.
Terrifically.
Yeah. Next.
You might have to go rapid
Mark your
fire.
calendars to the many events happening in Delco this week. Chichester Rotary Club spruces up Meeting House Road. How did they do that? Did they pick up the Suboxone wrappers? What is Meeting House Road?
That's
The big, right when you get off 95.
that's like right
Up
452
Chichester.
near Lefties.
Like when you get up.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
that big road in Chichester. You get off
Yeah,
on
that's a big
95.
Oh, okay.
That's Meeting House. Right at the long stretch.
That's
How do they
Uh,
spruce it up?
Picking up litter.
Suboxone. Okay.
322.
They threw a PJ Wellahams on it.
322.
No, not 322. Past there.
452.
Forfeit. Yeah. If you go down 95, like
past
towards
it.
Delaware, right
Yeah.
before you hit it, you get off
Right
on the
before you
Chichester
hit
Ag.
Delaware.
452.
Yeah, that right
No,
there.
the next one.
Marcus Sheep.
Upper Chai.
Upper Chai.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the second exit before you get the 495
Okay.
split.
Oh, you can take that to get the Wolves if you get creative.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know that exit for that reason only. December offers events with music, art, books, and Santa. Lansdowne Symphony Orchestra presents winter concert. Did they do a
In
musical?
July.
Did they do a musical version of the Communist Manifesto?
Oh God.
I'm from Lansdowne. I just think it's just ridiculous.
Show your tattoo.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, it's a heart. It says nachos in it, and above it says Lansdowne, Pennsylvania.
Tell them the nacho story.
I was going to say, tell me the nacho.
What's up?
What's the nacho?
People get tattoos with hearts that say people they love, and I know that nachos will never break my heart.
You couldn't find a human being to put in there, so you put
Yeah.
nachos.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
That's why we're a bit of a weight problem.
Lansdowne, the home of nachos.
Where do
Where
you buy ethnic food in Lansdowne?
at any of the 85 thrift stores or the 100 burnout parking lots that no one's doing anything about.
Gotcha.
Get a quesadilla.
You know,
Wawa.
Take
Wawa quesadilla. Is
Yeah.
that way? Okay.
Oh no, not between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. or p.m. because they've had too many robberies.
Really?
That is a real thing. Oh,
Yeah.
you should cover that. You should actually cover that.
She covers lighthearted
That's
Yeah.
stories.
Oh, all right.
Lighthearted.
Or
You want to make
That makes me
I
laugh.
got to
That one's like
offset
me.
the.
is there
Abandoned.
such thing as a guest columnist? Can I like write an article? and
Not
do a
you.
good job?
Everybody but you. After tonight, no, Holbrook. You're lucky she's inviting you into the club. All right, dude.
You don't have to ask the main editor.
Yeah.
God, if you blow this for us.
This is our big time right
you
now.
blow
bro.
up for this for us. Get this club.
We gave her an award, or we will when it shows up.
Haven't yet.
Ordered her.
We announced her 3 years ago, and in 3 years she will get this award.
You won the county award for 2017. We'll get it to you by 2024. Delaware County Deli shows gratitude by giving back to local community. I don't have $1.99 to spend, so I ran out of clicks looking up all these stories. What deli is it?
Roma.
Roma, yep.
Roma, the famous Roma.
The one right by the old Barnaby's.
I was gonna say why am I blank? It's one next to
Dude.
Austin's Food and all that. Okay,
Roma,
okay.
Oh man, they have their platters for the for parties and stuff like the sandwich.
They are
Yeah.
loaded.
Loaded up. They're
Loaded.
the cheapest around. They're the
Mhm.
best around. They're so good. I love
I
them.
used to use Roma for parties all the time.
What do they do to get back?
I just had their hoagie dip. It was excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love all their stuff.
Dude,
man.
you never had a
and they're
Italian
good
hoagie
guys.
dip?
Too.
Oh,
I've had Italian hoagie, but not in a long time. Chocolate.
so
Yeah, it
good.
was really good.
What do they do to give back? They just like give
They
money or they donate stuff?
sponsored a local charity each week.
Oh,
Oh.
So they had the ones that you would all know, like the Victory for Vincent.
Yeah.
And
Headstrong and all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and the Harry's Hands and Help and Heal. And
Yes.
Glen Olden. They picked a charity each week, and they put a jar out for customers.
Holbrook's
And then
drinking.
however much was in that jar,
the
they
match.
matched.
Oh, I love that. I
And
love
they
that.
had these hoagie days where they gave $1 from every hoagie to the charity.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
excellent.
Very cool.
Love it.
This table, these two alone right here at the table,
Excellent work.
we could support a couple charities.
I would have her some. They're chicken hoagie. Their chicken cutlet hoagies.
I do need a new
Oh,
chicken
are they?
cutlet.
Now I'm
Excited.
hungry.
Yep.
Newtown Square cuts ribbon on Drexel Lodge Park mural. Is the mural of Saint Karen, the unsatisfied housewife, slaying the Delco demon as it tries to cross 252?
I didn't ask.
What was the mural of?
No ask, no tell. You know.
You remember what the mural was? Oh, I don't know.
It was school kids that did it, but I don't remember.
I'm
I
sure
don't
it's great.
remember
Yeah.
what it was.
That is great.
Headroom cuts ribbon on newest Delaware County location of media. Is Headroom related to Headstrong?
No.
They use the same spelling format where it's head and then capital R, all one word.
No, it's a different. It's a business where they do, those modern things.
Like they're like the
we have office space.
the universal office, but you can
Yeah.
rent space for like if you want to have a
It's
meeting
one
or
of those
something.
kind of places.
Yeah, actually, when I was looking for the studio, I kept running into those things
Yeah.
like, oh, there's studio space in media. I'm like, great. And they're like, oh, you get to rent it. I'm like, oh, that won't work.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
again,
and you have to.
it's like part time. Like if we want to have a big time like meeting, like we're gonna move up in the world and get some big time sponsors. We wanted to have a big meeting. We could rent that space for a couple hours,
Egregious.
and you could actually like rent like secretaries and
Or you rent
know,
like a desk and have people in and
yeah.
do business with them so they think.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a roving office, like
Yeah.
a community. Okay.
For smaller companies like
where's that media? Is it before or after the stretch of bars where all the patrons are white people with no personalities?
Next question, please.
I was in a mood this morning.
Get this out. He's innocent.
Remember that whole thing about Spike? I
Right.
told you about.
Question. That's the
I'm a quick
question.
typer and full of anger.
Oh hell no!
What happens when your legs go down sitting on the toilet?
Kudos to members of St. James Alumni Association who will make Thanksgiving brighter for countless individuals. Hundreds of turkeys are donated this Thanksgiving thanks to the generosity of St. James alumni. Are you one of those St. James fanatics?
Well, I do think their alumni is pretty special.
That is
Because
one
the
thing.
school's been closed how many years? And
Yep.
they do so much.
That's what I wrote here. I said there is no other
Generosity.
grade school that has this much fervor. 95% of my grade school is in jail or the cemetery. Like St. James, like you just said, they closed in like the 60s, right?
No,
No,
it's
1990. I was a
90.
soph. I was a freshman in high school, so it was 1993.
Yeah,
They announced it in 92, and then they
93.
closed it.
They were Eddystone, like the Eddystone border of Chester.
Not
No, they
that's the
passed-
clubhouse.
Okay, I knew they had the
That's-
clubhouse.
They were-
No, they're like 9th Street, 4th Street.
Yeah, they're
somewhere
down further
there.
McKay Boulevard.
Yeah.
Or
I
a
can't-
Chester
I thought
High
it was
School.
like at a 22nd Street. Like
Oh,
just
okay.
borderline Chester.
Yeah,
so-
that-
Oh, like right before Widener.
You're thinking of the.
The
The
Simpson
doghouse
Ave.
is
You're thinking of
at the like we're after Walmart. You
Yeah.
take a left
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
light,
yeah. I've been
and
there
it's at
before.
the end of the street.
Because I will still see people who are like that crazy about it. I'm like, it was a grade school, man. Let it go. But they're like so
theirs was a
fascinated.
high school.
Oh, it was a high school.
Yeah.
It was a high school.
So St. James now, the one
They
there
sponsor
in Ridley
St. James
Park.
Regional Catholic,
Yeah, they changed it from St. Matt's, St. Road.
Okay.
Because they
Okay.
have the kids from a lot of different parishes, so it's like a regional school.
Mm,
And the St. James guys alumni, they sponsor that
Yeah.
school.
yeah.
They do a lot for that school.
Gotcha. Okay. The Foundation for Delaware County announces $100,000 grant from Boeing. There is a Delaware County Foundation.
Yes.
What
And
does it
it's
do?
huge.
Does it give out ankle monitors? Does it hand out gobblers at Thanksgiving?
They do a lot. They
Can they fix a bridge in Ridley Park?
I know.
Not yet.
Trust me, I live there. So it's a real pain with that bridge.
What's this? The Foundation for Delaware County.
People that have a lot of money.
I like them
donate,
already.
And they do
Whatever
a lot
they want, they get.
for- They have different. They run different programs in
Really?
Chester, Darby.
And it's funny because you talk a lot about what they call them booster clubs and things like that. Funny kind of full circle thing. So we ran a my other company, Edge Affiliate, we ran a benefit for one of our guys who work with us, whose son, had developed cancer.
Wait,
And
didn't I do a story on that?
that's my point. You did a story on that one. We were at the Red Lantern in
Mhm,
Collingdale,
mhm.
and I didn't know any. I knew about some of these clubs, but didn't know like what they did. And this guy comes up to me in like a suit, and I'm sitting there collecting money from people or taking money for everything. He goes, "Are you Al Zafiri?" I'm like,
Who's
you're in a
asking?
suit. I'm like, I have like literally like,
Like you're getting served those divorce papers finally.
yeah, like I know. I'm like, I have like hundreds of dollars of cash in. Are you running this event? I'm like, damn it. What did I do wrong? Like, I'm just sitting there going to tell me, he goes, and it happened twice that night, 2 different people. The first time the guy was, like I said, full suit. Like I thought it was like FBI or something. He goes, I'm like, yes. And he goes, and he reaches in and he pulls out this envelope with like, it was like $500 or $1,000 of cash.
That's
Wow.
great.
And I sat there and I said, oh, well, what's the, he goes, this is for, little Freddie. And I said, oh, thank you. I said, do you know, like, are you friendly? He goes, no. He goes, he dealt with something like that as a child he was definitely in his late 40s, early 50s. He wouldn't even give me his name, but he said, I read the article that Peg wrote in the Delco Times about the event. And then later that day, an older man from a different, I think it was the same, I'm not sure if it was St. James or not, or something like that. He came up with $1,000 check, same way.
Wow.
Like, the first guy wouldn't even give me his name. He gave him cash. He said, don't worry about my name. Just take the money and see you later. The other guy gave me his name and the group and that. He said, I don't want anything. I give him a t-shirt. I can do something. You know what I mean? Like, but so like that's the kind of things I wanted to bring up tonight because it is pretty amazing just how we all make fun of how the digital media and print media is different and all that nowadays, but people are obviously reading it and the right people are reading it.
Oh, a lot of people.
And I could say we raised about $20,000. It was a little under that. I think
that's the best part of the job, right there.
Yeah, and I can honestly tell you that at least a few $1,000s was just, at least I'm sure some of it I can't account for, but came from things like that because of that article. So kudos to you.
It's the best part of the job.
Yeah,
That is one of your more recent ones too. Ryan's Deli goes above and beyond to support customers' granddaughter, 3 years old, battling cancer. Where's Ryan's Deli?
Past it.
Okay, that's the one of the few areas I don't know anything about. And it was one of their customers. The little kid got cancer, and they were just like, "We're gonna step up and do something." I guess kind of like Roma was doing.
Right. The grandfather bought the kids. The grandfather always goes at deli for his lunch meat and all.
Yeah.
And he bought a flyer and asked him to put the flyer up.
Huh.
His grandkids were having a lemonade stand for their cousin.
Yeah.
With cancer. And the lady that owned the deli said, "Oh, we're going to go one step further." And they started collecting and they donated themselves and they put extra stuff to sell at the lemonade stand. Like they just went all out and they donated a lot and brought in a lot of donations. Like thousands of dollars.
Spectacular. That's amazing. Those are the stories we need.
They're the best stories because they make a difference.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah,
Helping people.
you covered with us the Lily Chung story.
Oh yeah,
The Rock with the Rock. There was
Can you believe we got the
the
Rock?
picture of me
was
with my shirt off, blubbering all over the place,
Good.
doing Oldberg because we all did our own wrestling promos. Oldberg. Yes.
I think that was the last time I genuinely smiled. Is when I woke up to like someone texting going, "You guys did it." I'm like, "What?" And they sent the link. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. We didn't fail at something.
Yeah. I'm like, wow.
See, Mom.
I always knew getting out shirtless and me yelling in a camera would pay off one day.
It was funny that you said that because I literally was going through looking at all the stuff that we did, and I found the videos and pictures of us with the WWE belt.
Oh yeah,
that we got that they because they what's the shirt? Ampro. They do all the WWE stuff, and they had belts, so they let us do it to take pictures with her before The Rock came in, and they actually said they ended up letting her keep it, and the WWE was going to replace theirs because they wanted to send her a belt, and they figured it was the easiest way of doing it. So that was one of the cool things, and then that's when The Rock finally kind of said,
She's better now.
From what I understand,
we have to do a follow up. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary. No, coming up on the 3 actually.
Is it 3?
Yeah, it was right
before the pandemic. Yeah, you're right.
Coming up on 3.
Yeah, remember we were going around ringing up the lights, and Holbrook almost got in trouble with SEPTA.
No, I did get it. I got in trouble with Amtrak.
Oh,
pretty
Amtrak.
aggressive. They called me and ripped me apart for that, man.
They start off with like, "You guys really did a great thing, but don't ever do it again." Like, because we were up on the tracks hanging the green lights. We stopped at like different locations, take a couple pictures of video, and then like go to a next one. and he was up on the tracks, and they just sent something to us like, "Hey, you know, that was really nice what you guys did. Don't do it again, Holbrook."
No, they actually called me as one of their investigators, and they're just like, "Are you the one who did this? Are you the one in this picture?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Yo, like I know it's for a
Please
good
keep your
cause, but like,
shirt
can you
on.
just not do that? You can't outrun the train." I'm like, "Okay." And the guy was just like, "Look, like my
He's like, "Hell, sir, you can't outrun the track."
he did the whole good cop, whatever, and he's just like my boss is like really trying to like actually press charges against you for trespassing. I'm convinced him it's actually a good fundraiser and all this stuff, and it's all fun and games. So if anyone asks, can you say I was like really, really mean to you? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll tell
I'm glad
you
you put it out on the radio, though.
And then then I was just like, I was like, should I tell them I cried? And he goes, yeah, tell me cry. Tell me cry. Tell them I was so mean to you. Cry. Yeah, that'll work.
Holbrook's a crier. He's okay. He'll cry. He's in touch with his feelings.
We should do follow-ups on the Havard, the light up green.
How about we do an episode of Delco Live follow-ups?
Yeah. Raider the Gator. I want to know what's up with him.
Some people make a good living off of rehashing old stuff over and over again. So I mean, why not us? I'm sorry.
I wrote this question for you before you explained that everyone was like freelance and all that. 2022 Delco Literacy Champions celebrated at Harrah's. Do you find it funny that Delco Times was covering a literacy competition? That's like me covering a stair climbing match or Al judging a working pancreas pageant.
So now you're more sympathetic.
Now I'm more sympathetic because I thought it was just like these rogue articles that just like got by like the editor. I was like, how do you misspell Ripley?
Everybody just pushes them out.
And then one final one. I know you never got sent to cover war, but you did do something that was just full of intensity and a battle on the front lines. The Philly sports guy visits Ridley's schools to pump up Philly's excitement. What was it like working with JB?
Yeah, he's pretty intense. What a nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely a great
the
guy.
kids loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
They love that
They
ticking
pumped a
talk.
lot of fun in that day.
So my daughters, I have twins, and they were like, "Oh, we got to see a baseball player today." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." They're like, "Yeah, it's Mikey." Now I know.
They go to Lakeview.
Yeah, I know Jamie.
He's a Millennium League all-star.
Huh?
He was in our softball league.
Oh
the
yeah,
one we were in.
yeah.
He was the coach.
Well, Grace Park,
Oh,
Lakeview.
yeah.
So they're like, "Hey, yeah, it's spiky hair." I said, "Did this baseball player have paint all over his face?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let me see a picture."
Wait,
Oh, that's Jamie.
I think most kids thought he was.
Even they thought he was a Philly guy.
They were asking him for autographs.
Well, his face was painted like the pinstripe.
Right.
So,
I
yeah,
think
that was
they did.
cute. But I saw the picture, and my twins like they're like North Pole and South Pole, and one of them is like, "Yeah," and the other one looks like she's about to cry. Like, I'd side more
Both
to it.
responses are correct.
Yeah. I love the fact that he was mascotting the Ridley Thanksgiving game. Did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah.
He was on TikTok.
I see
He was
that.
wearing
I
a Ridley.
love
He had a
that.
Ridley face paint, like a darker green on, and he had a Ridley football jersey. I thought it was hilarious.
So that guy, you talk about labor of love. He pours himself into that.
He pours himself. My head hurt for 2 days. Those kids screamed
Try serving
and
him.
had so much fun.
Try bartending for him for a night.
I bet.
Oh yeah, I had some of the best
loved it.
conversations with Jamie at the
We
bar.
love you, Jamie.
Oh man,
His first interview for anything was on our show.
before
And
he was
he wasn't
PSG.
the PSG yet. He was actually he was funding and working with a dude who was an arm. He had the person had cerebral palsy and had like one strong side. And he became an arm wrestler, like a professional one that traveled the world. And he came on an episode as a representative for this guy and told us about how they went to Hungary and all this stuff.
Oh, wow.
And he made a documentary. And the episode was actually called Disabled in Delco because we had another guest who had gotten crippled leaving, had become a paraplegic in a car accident leaving Duffers and was like had to adapt to life in Delco. And it was actually a pretty creative episode.
Yeah. It was just happened to have those two people with those two stories
Uh-huh.
because we had it lined up with Jamie and them for that one, and then we just happened to meet this young girl who was in a wheelchair and tells us her story. So we're like, we made the name, and I'm sitting there going, "Disabled in Delco." I mean, like, does this? Like, we were like sitting there about the title like for an hour. Like, is there was people think this is a bad thing? Like we were sitting there like for an hour going back and forth. We ran with
It's
it.
better than saying Handy
I-
McDateable, which is my original idea.
As maniacal as the Philly sports guy can sound when he's in a shtick. I mean, I think it was last year's autism run. He ran it in full garb. Like
Oh,
he had,
wow.
the Eagles have an autism run
Uh-huh.
5K. They can
Mhm.
bike it. He actually ran it, and he
Wow.
was in. I think he did like a couple lives, and like saw the pace like dripping down his
It's
face.
sweating
But
off.
yeah, but I mean, the guy ran a 5K.
Oh
in
my
full
God, yeah.
garb.
Yeah,
He's
So,
yeah,
all
and it was,
autism.
and it's in
Yeah.
June or
So,
July or something.
Yeah, and
too.
it was in the middle of
Very
right
good.
before summer camp, so it was hot as anything. So
I
the
saw
guy credit.
him. We went to Washington together, and we took a trip down from some jet road down to Washington Commanders game this year. And he was doing something at the yacht club, and I don't know, it started raining, and his eyes were all red. Like, dude, Jim, you all right, dude? High or something? Like, what's going on? He's like, dude, all my paint dripped right into my eye. Like, I felt so bad. But like you said, the man is a workhorse. He will
Yeah.
not.
Does he go into the bathroom like a woman like?
Yeah. I know, because the
Dude.
Tico was perfect.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
message him because that is actually a thing. Like I know this because I'm a loser and I still kind of watch pro wrestling sometimes. The people who like wear the face paint will do just like sped up videos and then putting it on.
Yeah.
And it gets a million views. If they just put him painting
He
his
did.
face
He's
on,
done it in the
Yeah.
past, I think.
it would get views.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
before he was like big on TikTok, because that's like that they love him on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, he's perfect for TikTok because that's all about short clips and like,
Just
Right.
oh yeah.
yeah.
Al, I
That's
think
like
I
a
think the
cool
great thing
move.
with this face paint is obviously when we went to New York with him.
Oh my God.
We went to a Phillies Yankees game last year with him, and he paints his face like a baseball, white and red stripes and all that. And at Yankee Stadium, you can't be doing that. Like you can't have base paint. Like they
Also, before the part of the story is the day before,
yeah.
Yankee Stadium had a guy dressed like the Heath Ledger Joker, causing a ruckus in Yankee Stadium. So they literally started. They said there was always a rule about face painting, but they never enforced it. But because of that guy the day before, they enforced it. And then when they got there,
They made him go in the bathroom and clean it off. Like it was a whole thing. And he comes out, and I swear, man, he looked
like the Indians logo, right?
he literally looked like he was in blackface, but for Native Americans. It was just completely red. He looked like a blistered thumb.
He looked like he
And-
painted.
yeah.
because the paint, like you said, he keeps that paint on, despite sweating and all that stuff as much as he does, because he uses good paint. Like he'll
Yeah.
tell you, like
You
it's
can
not.
see his
It's not just
professional.
It's not just paint you buy at the store that will. You just because if you touch them, like it doesn't just rub off. Like I've seen him go up and hug people and then nothing on their shirt or anything. So yeah, so when he had to go wash his face, all the red kind of mixed together and the white just kind of blended away. And
Did he teach himself
people
how
thought
to do-
something was wrong with him.
He
Like
does
he
it
had
all
a bad
himself.
sunburn.
He
Or
wrote that all himself?
Yeah, he does it all. Does it
Wow.
all himself.
Yelling,
He looked
oh
like
yeah,
he looked like a jaundice.
yeah, yelling, oh yeah, and trying to start a ruckus like with like opposing fans dressed like a baseball is one thing, but when you literally look like the Kool-Aid Man, like
I mean, it looked like he
Yeah,
had the
it's like, ugh.
worst sunburn, and it was funny, but at the same time kind of messed up. Like I felt bad. Like, you know what? Did it stop him? Was he any less
No.
energetic? Hell no! I stood right
Yeah,
next to
he's
him
a ball. of
the
energy.
whole time. I said, Jamie, dude, I'm tired of just watching you, brother.
I remember security literally like I was right there when security was telling him he had to do that, and he's like protesting it, and they go, "Sir, we use facial recognition here. Like this is New York City. Like it's not just like Philadelphia. Like it's a very serious thing up here." And he's just like, "Well, then recognize it through the paint." And they're just like, "Sir," they literally said, "Sir, there are 8 snipers trained to fire on the seats. They can see you right now. You have to take the face paint off, or they're going to label you a domestic terrorist." And I thought it was hilarious.
And then Holbrook comes
Yeah.
by. They said already labeled domestic terrorist.
Because I made a joke that would have been funny in Philly, but not in New York.
Oh yeah.
It was they're like I walked through the metal detector and like it went off. Moral of the story was my belt. And I was just like, oh geez, I thought it was my knife or my
Talk about
gun.
working
And they were just like,
overtime.
what? Like, why would I say that? Like you really got that upset. And I was like, oh, it's probably my knife or my gun. They're like, oh,
That guy didn't say bomb on a plane.
Right?
he's our bartender that day on the way up.
Oh,
He
yeah?
was something. He was something.
Oh, what a great time.
I would
It was a
do
great
it.
You
trip.
want to go to the next one?
I know. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Listen, the trips we go on, those Philly sports trips, they are a good time. I'll be honest with you.
I bet.
So anything you want to say to the people of Delaware County?
No, just keep the stories.
Doing stupid shit,
Delco, you
everybody.
keep being Delco.
Do you want the
I
scoop?
love Delco.
you
Yeah, I
want the-
always want the
Keep
scoop.
giving Peg the scoop.
Just keep giving me the scoop.
That's it.
I love Delco, born and raised here.
Oh yeah.
And
Delco loves you.
I just love to tell people stories.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, like the things that you gave us a shot. You talked about us when nobody else would.
I love you
when we
guys.
had
You do a great
different
job.
crew members and everything from
You're
Rambo and
original.
on. I remember when you first interviewed us, we were at I forget what it is. I think was it at my house? I don't know, but you kind of said Howard Stern meets Preston and Steve, but with a lot less talent. That was maybe the
Dead
last part. I
on.
forgot.
It was
Before,
accurate.
yeah, it was accurate.
It's not wrong.
Yeah. You guys are the only fat morons on a microphone, and you'll like these
Get
guys.
outta
No,
here.
no. We appreciate you.
Think of it, you're original. Where else is there?
Oh, we're original.
Original. They
Compared to
threw
some of
the
the other
mold
people.
away with this crew. But no, we thank you for everything you've done. Being, you kind of helped put us on the map because you mentioned us and people started tuning in more and more.
That's why you won the county's award for 2017 through 2022.
Yeah. Until we get not lazy enough to do the next version.
It's all represented on one trophy, though.
Yeah.
That'll be here on Thursday.
Maybe you don't have Prime.
Yeah.
But and like I said, I told you the story about what happened there. You've done that with every Delco day. I think every one, right? She covered
Every Delco day, the Freddie Burns thing, the Lily Chung thing, anything that was not like positive, anything that was positive.
Mhm.
That we
Well,
could do.
those were negatives that you helped turned into a positive. So thank you for that.
Thank you,
know?
guys.
So yeah, and it was like, because I remember somebody asking me today, goes, like they go, oh, I know, I read her art, like they know the name, maybe they know the face. They said, and like they said, that's really cool. And like a lot of people told me today, they're like, I remember reading her story about this or about that, but a lot of times it came back to the story of bringing, fundraisers together. People told me, yeah, we did a fundraiser for my uncle or for this, and Peg covered it, and it helped us out. Like it helped bring more people in.
Feel good.
Well, you should feel good. Well, like you said, like you are not the typical. Like you said, a lot of people run out. They want to hear about the murders. They want to hear about the people getting robbed or the other
Getting
terrible
decapitated
things.
in Clifton Heights,
Yeah, and they want to cover call it for lack of better words, the sexy stories. But you cover it well, and you must be doing a good job because everybody's loving it. So keep up the great work.
Well, thank you.
We did the Delco Jeopardy the one time, and someone else from Delco Times reached out to me, and I literally said, "I'm like, can we talk to Peg?" I literally did.
We told him. We said we only deal with Peg.
I said no offense. And I'm like, I trust her. I'm like, can we please? And I did the interview, and they just. I mean, I don't know who it was. I'm not trying to throw anyone on the bus. I could tell they just weren't listening. So I just wrote the article for them and sent it to her. And I was like, "Can you just use this?"
That's fine.
But and a little spoiler.
I only told Peg.
A little spoiler, Peg. So you may just in case you want to know, Jeopardy's coming back soon. But we'll give you a heads up before it happens.
And Delco Family Feud. Can you be on that since you literally have experience?
She's like, she's like, this is it, guys. This is it. This is all you were getting. Never again am I talking to you.
Maybe one of your lovely daughters would like to be on.
Yeah.
How well versed in Delco knowledge are you?
I love Delco. I feel like I'm in my element right now. I'm supporting my mom, sister, Natty.
Excellent.
Yes,
I love it.
Holbrook's ankle monitor keeps rubbing up on me. But no, guys, I want to remind you that these awesome shows are brought to you by Dolan's Bar. Dolan's December to Remember Christmas Tabernacle Choir. Christmas Tabernacle Choir.
Pontiac Road.
Shut up. December 16th with Jay Whaley. Am I saying that right? It's Whaley, right? Jay Whaley. Dirty Christmas Carols is a sight to be seen, an annual tradition at Dolan's 24 East Sellers Avenue, right down there in Ridley Park, the 19078. And every Eagles game, go there. Great food. You have the $8 cheesesteaks and /wing cheesesteaks, memorabilia giveaways. You never know. Last time I was there, I was hanging out with Hollis Thomas. Dolan's is not your typical bar. You got to head down.
Evan
check
Peters
it out.
went there.
Evan Peters
PJ said hi, by the way.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Said tell Peg Dolan's Bar. Dolan's loves her. All caps.
He knows we're buddies.
Yes. And for all your legal needs, workers' comp, motor vehicle, criminal law, I'm looking at you, Delco. personal injury, David R. Cherry is your man. 610-565-0300 or simply go to cherryinjurylaw.com.
So you don't want to get arrested on the 23rd or the 30th this year because there's no court dates on the 30th, the 31st, or whatever. You would still be in jail until Tuesday.
Yeah, because Christmas is on a Sunday and New Year's is on a Sunday. That means you'll be until Tuesday.
Yeah, this is not a year to get arrested those
I
days.
love how you know. That's great.
Everybody plans ahead for travel. Homework going for getting
Nights
arrested.
that I just cannot go to jail. But if you do that Tuesday morning, the 2nd or the 27th, wake up and call David R. Cherry.
Yes.
Courts will be open again.
Officer, I really can't go to jail. I don't want to be in there for 3 days. Wink. And if you want to enjoy some great stocking stuffers for the holiday or just delicious snacks,
or you need some protein to get through the 30th through the 2nd, if you're in jail,
sure,
before you call David R. Cherry.
Or if you even need something for your favorite canine, because they got canine cuts now at Fat Cal Jerky.
No, they're not made out of dogs.
Yes. I believe it's chicken liver and beef, whatever.
I'll eat it either way.
Yes, Hobart already by accidentally ate some. But also great people flavors as well, and jalapeno garlic, honey habanero, and so many more. Go to fatcaljerky.com, Facebook, Instagram, and they are like every festival and getaway that they have. They're always there. Tell Delco Live sent you. Peg, once again.
Dude, they're so good.
They are.
They're so good.
I mean, Peg, we're going to send you and your daughter home with something to try for yourselves as well. We have some here.
Yes, it actually.
Holbrook did not eat, and I did not eat it all, so it is still some left for you.
As long as you're not a cheesy vegan,
yeah,
you can enjoy that.
Do you guys have a pet, a dog?
We do.
Well, you will get some doggy treats too.
What's the name of the dog? Is it on the Super Delco?
Turn the herd.
Sandy Pizza.
Sandy Beach, right?
Yeah.
Imperial.
Yeah,
you named it
Sandy
after
Pizza.
Imperial.
Yeah.
Aw. You named your dog after
What kind of
Imperial
dog is
Pizza?
Oh,
It was
boy.
already named. When she got it, yeah.
See, I've gotten a few pets that had names already, and I was all hell bent on changing the names, but I ended up not.
Yeah,
doing
we didn't
it.
have the heart.
Yeah, I'm like,
We were going to change it to
The dog could be Sandy for Sandy Pizza, and the breed, a Chihuahua, Wawa, Wawa.
They made us name. They made us name our
I mean, it's
animals
no, oh
before you
hell
took us to
no,
the
but I got
hospital.
some on tonight.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us leave with the hospital without naming our animals.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The kids.
It's late. It's getting late.
But guys, Peg, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
being awesome.
Thank you
I
for
had a really
everything in
good
general.
time.
Thanks for putting up with us again.
Yeah,
You know,
thank you.
don't wear your checks in the mail. Guys,
your trophies.
Yes, your trophy. Guys, we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you in a couple weeks, right before Christmas. We'll have a great holiday lineup. Between now and then, keep on our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and of course, follow us on TikTok for all your quick Delco. God damn it! Yes, we do.
Not high.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, guys.
I also need our Instagram login again. I bought a new phone.
Jeez, guys, we're out.
To be fair, I've asked 5 times.